Does anybody know how to turn the mic on? There's two buttons. I tried. I know. Sorry, I had to hold it, right? Oh, that was the problem. Thank you. Okay. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Apologies for the delay in the start. We were supposed to start 2:45. We've been delayed by a few minutes. Having said this, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay. Before we start, we have to ask, why are we here? Okay? Why are we here? When you're showing up over here, question, what are you here for?
To learn.
Learn what?
Time management.
How to manage time, okay. Anybody who comes and says, I want to learn how to manage time, what are they telling themselves about themselves?
They want to learn time management skills.
I can, let's say, lift 2 kilograms of weight. Will I require training to lift 2 kilograms of weight? Nope. When will I require training? When I cannot lift that particular weight, correct? So I'll only come to a training session to lift now more than 2 kilograms of weight. Yes or no?
Yes.
Right? So the first thing every single person coming here is declaring is, that's myself included too, huh? I'm going to tell you why. I am weak in managing time to a certain level. Yes or no? You see what I did there? I accepted my strengths because I know it's a certain level. I'm not completely weak, right? But I also accepted exactly where I have to grow. I'm going to take this off because it keeps falling on me. Okay? So every single training session in your life that you're going to go to is going to be that and nothing else. Because if it's not that, then you're wasting your time. Yes or no? If you went to a training session to lift 2 kilograms of weight, when you can already lift 2 kilograms of weight, you're wasting your time. Okay. So every single person here is coming here and saying that I can manage time. That's true. Look, I've been managing it so far through some system. That's perfectly fine. I'm here to learn how to manage time better. You see that? Okay. That's still not complete yet, though. Why? Does saying that make you compelled to come here? Tell me. No, it doesn't. You have to make the compulsion. I want to be here. I need to be here. Right now, we're not even at the I want to be here stage. You have to make it, I want to be here first, and then take it to the I need to be here. You see that? Are you guys going to help me get there? Salawat, please. Okay. If I have in my mind that I'm trying to manage hypothetical time, I can very simply say there's a good thing to have. You see that? That's it. It's a good thing. But is it the good thing that I need right now? I don't know. You see that? I see that. If I say you're here to manage time better, it's like saying, I want to do something good. That's great. But that's not creating a compulsion and a need in the now. That means there's an actual need me and you have right now that's bringing us here. I need you guys to think for 1 minute inside yourself one thing. What is the thing or things in my life right now that I know that I'm too weak to lift? I know I'm not able to manage. And you're not saying it out loud, you're keeping it in your hearts. But you're admitting to it. You're like, yes, I've been messing up here. How do you know? Because you'll feel the flames from other people around you. You understand that? It's typically the places where other people and you get into conflict. You're letting yourself down or others down, and you feel negativity, frustration, burnout, all the negative signs that Allah has blessed you with to show you exactly where the need you have for today. I'm going to do the exact same thing for you. You know why? Because I have deficiencies too. Otherwise, only the Ma'soom Imams would be what? Making these sessions. Thank you so much. Actually, I found this is so much more control. I can get up. This is perfect.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm 100% sure. Thank you so much. 98% sure. Okay. Salawat, please. As soon as I said 100, I realized, wait a second, I don't have a magic plan here for the future. What if my arm gets tired? I said 98. You see that? You're doing exactly that. You're identifying the deficiency in you first. Why are you identifying it? Because if it wasn't here, you would never ever come here. Never ever. Someone could sign you up and they have to literally drag you with a chain to bring you here. You understand? There was actually no need. That's how your fitrah is, period. Okay? Imagine this was a session on how does grass grow? Literally. Your parents could sign you up, okay? They could compel you to come here, and you'd be here at only because you're here at sword point, nothing else. You see that? You see that? They'd have to actually bring you here on sword point and nothing else. So if you aren't feeling that inside of you, I'm asking you to just refine that feeling once, which is that there is a deficiency within me in managing my time. How do I know? Because I'm not the ma'soom. How do I know? Because in my life I have messed up and I am messing up today, in the now, right now, today, right now. When that guy brought the mic to me, I messed up. I said 100%. Should have said 98. You see that? Are you seeing that or no? Okay, you have 2 minutes to talk to yourself and figure out what part of your daily routine in life is something that you're here to learn how to manage better. That's the part that's giving you the most frustration. You know you want to manage it better. You're not trying to mess up there, but you unfortunately do end up messing there. Alaikum Alright? We said aloud salawat, take a deep breath and think. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajjal fajr. Does everybody understand what they're thinking about? Who does not understand what you're thinking about? Put your hands up. Good. If you don't understand, put your hand up high. Everybody practice putting your hands up high. Practice putting your hands up high. Practice, practice, practice. Good. Hey, you have hands. Okay. Who doesn't understand what we're doing? Put your hands up now. Everybody put your hands up again. Hands up again, hands up again. Only those people who don't understand what we're doing, put your hands down. Okay. All right. Everybody put your hands down. There you go. What we're doing is we're identifying primary need. You know what I just did here? I made sure I took laziness out. So everybody put your hands up. It's harder to do that, right? Now, if you actually have a need, put your hand down. And now you have to have a consciousness effort to put your hand down. We're identifying primary need because that progresses and propels you towards growth. The only way you're going to learn today is if you identify that. And if you don't, you're not going to learn today. You understand? That's the only way learning takes place, is if you first admit to a weakness. Nothing else. Okay? That's what we're doing. Alright? Okay. You guys want an example? No. Yes, you do? Okay. My friend facilitator over here, Sister Zainab. This is somebody who I've talked to before on the phone. Right? For assistance on projects and talking about other projects. Okay? I've never seen her before. When I came over here, right, she's seen me because I put my face on posters, right? So all of a sudden she came and said, Salam Sayyid. And she was gonna say, where do I sit? Because I told her, when you come over here, I need you to see exactly where I'm messing up. Why? Because you're the expert in that. You see that? Like, I can't see myself in how I talk and how I say things and how I talk to kids and so on and so forth. I can't see my flaws very easily. I need your help. You see that? You're the expert at that. You're a behavioral analyst. I want you to sit over here and help me out. You're going to look at my flaws for me. You're going to help me grow. See that? That was our conversation on the phone. When she came over here, she said, Said, where do you want me to sit? I wasn't able to connect the face and the voice. You see that? You see that or no? I have a choice here. In my heart of hearts, I can say, I have a weakness, which is that I can't connect the face and the voice. What happens if I don't admit to that? Right away, I'll say, in my heart of hearts, who is she? You see that? You see that? Do you see that? And that interaction is it going to be a calm one or a negative one? How is it going to be? Calm or negative? Ask your fitra. You all have it. Calm or negative? Ahsant. If I don't admit a weakness, I'm setting myself up for failure. Ahsant. Which is counterintuitive, right? Why don't you admit your weakness? Because you're scared to admit that you're failing. You see that? That's what we're practicing on first. What is the primary need? Where am I right now not able to lift that time management weight? Where am I messing up today? If I can get that, then your parents would have to drag you out of here. Do you understand? Do you understand? Okay, salawat please. So, in your heart of heart, think, where am I failing to lift my time management weight today, yesterday? It could be sleep. It could be I'm exhausted and I can't manage that. It could be frustration, tiredness. I get angry because I can't manage my emotions. Time does that, by the way. You gotta manage everything through time. You wanna manage your business? What are you gonna manage it through? Time. You wanna manage your family? What are you gonna manage it through? Time. You wanna manage your emotions? What are you gonna manage it through? Time. You wanna manage your spirituality? You're gonna manage it through time. You see that? You wanna manage your looks? You're gonna manage it through time. See that? You see that or no? So the fundamental pillar of management in Islam is what? The management of ihsan. That's why you're here. Okay. So once you've identified that particular need, put your hands down. So that means all you guys put your hands up. Put your hands up, put your hands up, put your hands up. You're only gonna put that hand down is when you've identified that primary need. Okay? I already did. Think and identify it, what your primary need is, then put your hand down. Where am I failing? One of the areas could be that I don't know where I'm failing, but I'm still feeling heat from others around me. That's a good one. You see that? Salawat, please. So I made a really cool PowerPoint, okay? And in this whole particular cool PowerPoint, I did my best I could, okay? It's not the best though. If you have suggestions, let me know at the end. We're gonna go through 4 main items. That's it, nothing more. Do you see that? 4 main items. What are the 4 main items? We're gonna talk about what is time, and I talked a little bit about that right now. It's that fundamental downstairs layer that everything else is built on. All other management styles are built on the understanding of how to manage time. We're going to open that up a bit more, okay? The second thing is we're going to understand how does management work. We talked about that as well a bit right now, by the way. That the only way you can manage something and grow something is what? Are you managing it to destroy it or to grow it? Ahsant. Correct? So you need control for growth, and the only way you can grow is if you accept what?
Identify weakness.
Ahsant, because that's where you have to grow, correct? It doesn't have to be a generic weakness or a very specific one in the now. If it's generic, you're going to take generic steps. Does generic steps ever actually happen? Nope. They happen in your mind. You have to identify a specific weakness in the now. You see that? And admit to that. That's hard. And when you do that hard step, Allah blesses you with Jannah. What's Jannah? Growth. Now you know where you have to go. Now you know what training module you have to attend. Because you've admitted something first. You're not compelled to grow, you want to grow. Do you see the difference? If you see the difference, put your hands down. Reverse hands, please. Go up. Everybody hands up. If you see the difference, put your hands down. Good. Now, use laziness against me. We're going to change up some things. The first things, understanding what time is. Okay. The first concept we're going to talk about is the generic time versus my specific time. Salawat, please. The first thing we're going to talk about is generic time versus my specific time, okay? The second thing is, why should I change from point A where I am towards going to point B? Okay? What is time? Time is nothing but the measurement of change. In Islam, this is what time is. Time is only a measurement of change. Change of who? You or me? Each person's I. Independent, disconnected I. Time is the measurement of change of the I, the self. You see that? What's time of the universe? It's the changes of the I of the universe. You see that? What's time of the solar system? Because you look at Earth and Sun goes and time, day and night comes, right? That day and night, is it relevant to Pluto? No. It's relevant to the eye of the Earth. You see that? That essence of the Earth, that's that time, day and night that we experience is related to what? The essence of the Pluto or Earth? Earth, Ahsan. When we're looking at, let's say, the movement of now the sun around its own orbit, its own axis, that time is the change of what? Essence of the sun. That's the sun's essence. When the sun is moving around, because the sun's also moving, right? Do we on the earth really notice or care about it? Can you tell right now the sun is moving? No! You see that? That's not an associate of the earth, it's an associate of the sun. Do you see that or no? Ahsant. So we're not talking about generic time. We're not talking about humans' time. We're not talking about my friend's time. We're talking about my time. You see that? Ahsant. Good job. Second point. How much time do I have today to change? Now I'm comparing two times. I'm comparing my time within a bigger time frame called the time of the Earth's cycle, correct? So another way of saying is, how much capacity of change do I have, quantitatively speaking, within the capacity of change of the Earth? You see that? And for each individual, the quantitative figure is exactly the same. We all wake up with how many hours in our day? Ahsant! Each one of us is given that particular thing. It's justice of Allah. And here's another justice. How you manage those 24 hours, is it a you specific thing or a me specific thing? It's an I specific thing, correct? Each I manages that 24 hours specific to itself, correct or no? You see that? And therefore, whatever that I gains in that hour, whether good or bad, is something it has earned for itself. You see that or no? That I is displaying its own strengths and weaknesses on the canvas of the 24 hours. Do you see that or no? You see that or no? Ahsan. Every place that I is able to manage properly, that's where it's displaying its strengths. And every place that I is not able to manage properly, it's displaying its weakness. And if it admits where it's weak at, then Allah gives it another opportunity to grow tomorrow. Do you see that? That's why in our deen the Ahl Bayt have said, one who does not do muhasibah, one who does not admit to his weaknesses of that day, is not from those individuals who are trying to grow. Oh my gosh. You see that? The Ahl Bayt said, every night, admit to the weaknesses you have, so that the next day, you're compelled to grow. Who here likes to say, I'm weak? Nobody. It's not in our fitrah. The Ahl Bayt are simply teaching us one thing. Use your fitrah to propel you forward. When you admit every night that I'm weak, here's where I was weak today. You're using your fitrah, you're making that icky feeling inside of you because you want to avoid that tomorrow, like the plague. Yes or no? That grants you motivation for growth tomorrow. This is the fundamentals of time management. This is Islamic tarbiyah. Salawat, please. So, I'm at a station called A, and change means that A has to go to B, right? I think the battery on this is dying. Just letting you know, whoever you are. Okay. If I want change, change is nothing but going from an A to a B, correct? Yes or no? Okay. Change means going from an A to a B. But wait a second, Sayyid, I'm sitting in one spot, but I'm still changing, learning from you, correct? You guys are, right? Right? You're all sitting in the same spot, but you're changing. Have you not changed before I said a sentence and after I said it? Yes, you did. You know the sentence now. Correct? So what's the A and B there? It's the intellectual A and B. You see that? That A and B doesn't have to be a place physically on. I don't know what happened. Sorry. The A and B doesn't have to be a place physically on the earth. No. What is A and B? Wherever the change is happening, if it's intellectual, it's intellectual. What if the change is happening in your bank accounts and the A and B is financial? You see that? Whatever is happening in your energy levels. I gotta close it before you come close because it's gonna go.
No, it's good.
Oh, it's muted? Okay.
This one.
Now unmute that one. Thank you so much. That's why the sound was good. I think two unmuted mics were close to each other and it went. Okay. Can you guys hear me still? I'm just gonna wait for that now. There's an echoish thing. If you can lower it, thank you. Thank you. Okay. So that A and B is always where that particular change is taking place. If it's a physical change, like we're moving from here to Kingston, let's say where I'm from, and the A and B is physical. If the change is intellectual, and the A and B is intellectual. If the change is financial, and the A and B is happening in your bank accounts, financially speaking. If the A and B is emotional, then the world that it's happening in is your emotional realm. You see that? But change in of itself requires an A and a B. Why would somebody leave an A? What in the world would make them want to leave an A? Tell me.
They could have a weakness in A that they wouldn't have in B.
It's not the A is not good enough for them. That's the only thing. If A was good enough, if the weakness was a little bit weak, it's like it's bad, but it's not that bad. Okay? You understand? If A was bad, but it wasn't that bad, they'd never leave A, correct? A would always have to be something that's not good enough for them. That's the only way they're gonna be compelled to, want to, motivated to, strive towards, not A. Are they trying to go below A or above A? Ahsan, they're gonna go towards a B now. You see that? You see that or no? And the only way that can happen is if you say what I have right now is not good enough for me. You see that or no? The only way you were going to manage time better was if you were to say, there's a primary deficiency that I have that's not good enough for me. I'm not okay living in this fire. The only way you step out of the fire is if you admit that you're in fire and that's not where you want to be. That's the only way you get to heaven. Only way. You recognize the deficiency of you, the I, now, and you say, this deficiency is something I can't live with, period. You see that? Very, very good. Salawat, please. I want you guys to now get in your groups. I'm going to make groups for you. And you're going to try to compare two things. Okay? You're going to try to compare how the pharaonic I and the divine I think about their deficiencies. What's the pharaonic I? The pharaonic I is the one that doesn't want to grow. It's too scared to grow. It's too scared to admit it's weak. And that's why it can't really grow. See that? What happens to somebody who's too scared to admit that they're weak? What do they end up admitting? I am ahsant. Ahsant. What happens to a human who's too weak to admit that they actually are in need of someone else? They end up saying, I am the all-independent. And that's exactly what Fir'aun did. He's too scared and weak to admit that he needs someone else to exist. And then he ended up saying what? I don't need anybody to exist. And that's another way of saying, Ana Rabb. I'm the sustainer. See that? He's too scared to see that he also is someone who's dependent on others. So he ended up saying, I'm the one who everybody else is dependent on. You see that? So we're going to identify, how does the pharaonic I look at time management, the admittance of weakness? And how does the divine I look at weakness? Weakness is there, correct? Whether you like it or not, correct? Right or wrong? Okay. The simple discussion is how the two wish to see it. That's it. You see that? This group up here is one group. Sister, if you can turn your chair back. You guys are another group. That table is another group. And you guys are two groups. The four of you there are one group. The three of you here is one group, okay? I need you guys to stand up and huddle somewhere in the room that is away from others. Come on. Salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. The question is, how does the pharaonic I look at weakness and what does it do with it? And how does the divine I look at weakness and what does it do with it? So, what are we doing?
You just have to compare the pharaonic eye versus the divine eye.
Towards what? Towards how they look at?
Change or
How they look at their own weakness. Okay, both of them are weak, right?
Yes.
Otherwise, they wouldn't need to grow. Anything that's absolutely strong doesn't need to grow. Perfect. So if you're not God, exactly. If you're not God, then you gotta admit that you are ahsant. Think about that. How do the two look at it? You guys are standing up, huh? Stand up. Everybody else is standing up. Come on. It's to make sure you don't get tired sitting for 3 hours, 4 hours. Okay, what are we talking
What
about?
we have is the Fir'aun eye.
So the Fir'aun is somebody that knows his weaknesses,
Yeah.
but doesn't admit to it and still thinks it's
No. I'm not
wrong.
asking you to answer. I'm saying, what's the question?
Oh,
The difference between the two.
What do you mean? To what?
their
Divine
mental,
eye
like
and the-
how they think
How do they think about what?
of
Their weaknesses.
of
Their weaknesses.
How the Pharaonic eye, the divine eye, thinks about their weaknesses. Okay? I want you to tell me how both think. You're discussing. Okay? Now you know the question, right? What's the question?
What is the difference between the Pharaonic eye and the divine eye?
Regarding what?
Regarding its deficiencies.
Regarding how they see their weakness. See that? You're discussing that. Weakness is there, right? The only one who doesn't have weakness is who? God, right? Everybody else who says, I'm not weak, is basically, I need nobody else. Can even the prophets say, I don't need anybody else? No. You see that? The only one who can say, I don't need anybody else is God. Okay? So the Pharaonic eye and the divine eye both have weakness. The question is, how are they looking at it? And what do they do with that weakness? Okay? Which one's the coward? Okay? Tell me. Okay, good job, good job. Sakra. What's the question?
How does the Fir'aun eye versus divine eye?
Regarding what?
What do they do about how they?
What do they do, or how do they see? How do they see their weakness, their deficiency? Are they both deficient? Any person says, I'm not deficient. Who are they? God. Can the prophet say, I don't need anybody? I don't even need God. Can the prophet say that? Who is the only one that can say, I don't need anybody? Is God saying, I need the prophet? No, right? But the only person who can say, I don't need to change, I don't need anybody at all, is who? Who is it? Tell me. Allah, right? Okay. So that means the Fir'aun eye and the divine eye both have, are any of them Allah? No. That means they both have a weakness. The question is, how do they look at their weakness? And what do they do with it? Which one is a coward? That's what think. What's the question?
How does the Pharaonic eye see weakness, and how does the divine eye?
Do they both have weaknesses?
Yeah.
Who's the only creature that doesn't have any weakness? Does a prophet have weakness? Okay, here's the example. Can the prophet say, I don't need anybody, I don't even need Allah? Can the prophet say that?
If the prophet says that, then that would like.
Exactly, that's wrong, right? But does Allah need the prophet? No. So the only one who has no need is who? Allah. You see that? Right? We're in the same faith, huh? That means that Pharaonic eye and the divine eye, even if it was a prophet there, would have to have a need. Some need. I have a need. Right? A need comes from a weakness. A prophet would say, I need to be connected to my God. You see that? Very good. So in this case, which one's a coward? Because they both have weaknesses. The Pharaonic eye and the divine eye both have weaknesses. How they look at that weakness tells you which one the coward is. Identify the coward here. Okay? We're gonna whack them all. Wherever the coward is, we're gonna whack him right now. Good job.
I feel like I didn't what she saw. It's not like, and I mean, if there's anything I could do to help, but I know the brothers seem to have everything under control. So.
Where's Sister Zainab Fazl going? I'm gonna look for her outside. I think 5 minutes if you can get them to settle back in. I'm coming.
I want her to converse on topic for 5 minutes.
Oh, I'm not leaving. I'm just looking to say Sister Zainab coming back. I'm not leaving. They're looking for my partner, Mr. Zainab, who's supposed to take notes. I'm just looking for her. It's okay. All right, guys, have a seat, please. Have a seat, please. Have a seat, please. صلى على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل. All right. What was the question? Go ahead.
It was about how the pharaonic eye and divine eye view weaknesses.
Ahsan. Weaknesses or their weakness? Their weakness, right? Which one was the coward? 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 Why was the pharaonic eye the coward? Why was the pharaonic eye the coward?
Like because the pharaonic eyes when we like use like the weakness as like non-existent or like, oh, I don't have it.
Ahsant. He sees the sun of truth and says it's not sun, it's nighttime. He's a liar. That's why. Correct? Pharaonic eye is the one that denies reality. He sees it and says, nope, I don't see it. That's the pharaonic eye. That's why it's weak. It's too weak to see and say what he sees. You see that? Ahsant. At any time, you and I see a deficiency within us, and we're too weak to admit the weakness, at least inside of us, we are being what? Cowards. We're too scared of what? Admitting the deficiency. Correct? Correct? Great. Why was the pharaonic eye scared to admit deficiency?
Because it doesn't want to see itself as like weak.
Ahsant! Because it does not want to be weak. It does not want to label itself as weak. It is too scared to admit that it is weak. You understand that? Ahsant. Next question. By admitting to the weakness, was the divine eye becoming weak or actually propelling towards strength? Ahsant. Ahsant. You see that? See the issue here? It's the same. Both of them want to be strong. The divine eye says, the second I say I am weak, now I know where I have to become strong. The pharaonic eye says, I'm just going to claim I'm strong but not do the homework. You see that? Salawat, please. All right. Very, very, very good. Are 5 time dollars the same as 5 money dollars? They're not. Why? Imagine you're at a time bank. Time can be spent, right? I can tell you, I'm going to give you $5. Can you plan to spend them? I can also say, I'm going to give you 5 hours. Can you plan to spend it? You see that? Are they the exact same in their expenditure? Why are they not the same? Ahsan, money is something that I could just give you again. But that time, once it's gone, it's not coming back. That's true. That's very, very true. Second thing, if I crumpled your $5 bills, does that change what you can buy from it? No, it can't. What if I crumpled your time? How do you crumple time? One thing is wasting it. Whose time is it? Your time, right? What if I make sure your emotions are such that you feel crumpled up? Can you spend the same 5 hours the same way now? Can you or no? Of course you can't. So crumpled $5 of time all of a sudden loses value. You can't buy as much anymore with that $5. It's the same $5 of time, huh? But if the eye is not managing its emotions, what's happening? What's happening? It's able to buy less with that crumpled value. You see that or no? Good. Salawat, please. We talked about the idea of what? Time versus my time. We talked about the idea of why should we change from A? Okay? Because it's not good enough for us. We talked about the idea of journeying towards a B. The B is something that's really, really important. You understand that? Talked about the idea of the crumpled time, the value of time. You see that? Very, very good. We're going to continue. You saw some words on there that we didn't talk about, like a hike, correct? And you're like, what was those words? That's okay. That was level 2 of this. You understand? For that, you're going to have to watch last week's video. What is management? What is management? Go ahead. If it was spending, using it efficiently, then I would say spending or using, correct? What's the difference between management and spending and using? Go ahead.
Management controls. So not only do they spend.
That's the point. Management has a sense of control in it. Spending doesn't necessarily have that sense of control in it. Management innately, necessarily has an idea of control. Spending innately does not. Do you see the difference? You see that? Do you see it or no? Great. Okay. So, question. Whatever you're trying to manage, you manage it towards what? Control what? Okay. Control time to change from an A towards what? And the B is always better than A. You see that? So the essential component of management is what? To grow something. How about a corporate company? You know what board of directors are? Management, upper management. What are they trying to do? Are they trying to see how we can spend all this money that we have? Just to get rid of it? Nope. What are they trying to do? What are they trying to do? They're called upper management, correct? Yes or no? What are they trying to manage?
Maximize profit.
I said, they're trying to say, how can we control growth? Is that what they're trying to do?
Yes.
Don't they want to maximize growth?
So not just control it, take it a level further and maximize it.
So what is it they're trying to grow? What is it they're trying to control? Are they trying to control growth? What are they trying to control? If it's growth, then they're doing it wrong. Because why? Because they were there to grow as much as they can. Correct? It's not control of the growth. It's the control of what? Nope. Control of what? Ahsan! They have to first admit to a deficiency and control and make sure that deficiency doesn't get in the way. So all management is simply first admitting to a deficiency and then making sure that deficiency doesn't get in the way. That's it. You see that? That's the fundamental tenet of tarbiyah and guidance of Islam. The Holy Quran is Hudan lil, who are muttaqeens, taqwa. It means a person who doesn't sell Allah short. A person who's not too scared to let go of things for the sake of growth. A person who's not too scared to say that I'm weak so that they can grow. You see that? Only that person can go and grow. The Quran isn't saying I'm choosing to only help the muttaqeen. It's telling you, hey, only the muttaqeen can be helped. You see the difference in the two? Cowards can't be helped because that's very scary. When you say you're not sick, the doctor can't fix you. Correct? If you go to the doctor's clinic and you say, I'm not sick. First of all, you wouldn't even go, correct? Right? When will you go? When you say, I am sick. That's the only way the doctor is going to work and help you. The Quran is telling you this fundamental tenet of growth. Salawat here, please. So, this type of control. How much time do we have till your lunchtime? Good, good. You only have to spend half an hour more of energy. How many of you guys are getting tired? Put your hands up. Put your hands up, put your hands up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Are you getting physically tired or emotionally exhausted? Put your hands up. If it's physically tired, put your hands up. If it's emotionally exhausted, put your hands up. Great, great, very, very good. That means it's story time. Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajal farajah. You want to know something unique? Okay. There was a time that a person came to another person. Okay. Who was this first person? Huh? Who would I have to talk about to make you emotionally uplifted? Your enemy or your friend? Who would you like to hear about? Both. What part of your enemy do you like to hear about? It's badness, correct? So I could tell you a story of shaitan's badness. Or what are your friend? Do you like to hear your friend's badness or friend's growth and goodness? Growth and goodness, right? So I can tell you about the Ahl Bayt's growth and goodness. Which one right now, you're going to help me pick, which story right now do you think will get me the best ROI of emotion? Right now, do you guys feel that you want to punch your enemy or you want to hug a friend? Okay, look at your emotion and ask it. Do you want to punch an enemy? Put your hand up. You want to hug a friend? Put your hand up. There you go. You picked the story for me. You see that? Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein salam came and saw that there's a man who's doing wudu. You see that? And this man is doing wudu incorrectly. Okay? Both of our masters, our beloved Imams, know that it's very, very hard for an eye to accept the deficiency, correct? So what did they do? Out of their mercy, they were saying, we're going to let him see the deficiency not in himself first. We're going to make it easy for him. You see that? And one of them said, okay, I'm going to do the wudu wrong in front of him, and you do it right in front of him, and we're going to tell him, here's 2 pictures, spot the difference. We're going to play a game with him. You see that? With a game, we're going to make this guy see his deficiency, because it's too hard to accept your deficiency otherwise. See the mercy of the kids, Imam kids. They go to that guy and say, Uncle, me and my brother here want to see which wudu is better. Are they going to lie to him, say we don't know how to do wudu? Nope. Uncle, can you help us figure out which wudu is better? We want to see which wudu is better. You see that? You understand that? If they said, we don't know how to figure it out, it would be a lie. When they're saying, can you help us? They're saying, our group, me, my brother Imam Hassan, and you, uncle. The group can't figure it out. That means the problem is now within the group, correct? You see that? As a group, 2 masooms and 1 non-masoom. Can all 3 of them figure out how to do wudu correctly? Nope. Now they're not lying. You see that? They say, can you help us figure out? Instead of saying, hey, you don't know how to do it, I'm going to teach you. They're saying, you're part of us, we're together in one group. Let's now try to figure out what the problem is. You see the difference? Really, really good. That's how merciful they were. They tell him, one does the wudu incorrectly, the other does it correctly. That guy right away does what? He sees the right wudu from the wrong wudu. Why? Because is it in him or is it outside? Whose faults can you see very easily? Ahsant. So they show the fault outside of the guy. How did they pick they're gonna help this guy? What about this guy was so unique that the Ahlul Bayt said, we're gonna go to this guy to help him out? What was that about him? Right away, what did this guy do when he saw the fault outside? Huh? No. One unique thing. He said, I'm a truthful person. If it's bad there, it's bad everywhere. You see that? He said, if it's bad there, then it's bad everywhere. And he looks inside, he said, uh-oh, it's bad here too. You see that? The thing that allows for the Ahlul Bayt to help you is truthfulness, sidq. You see that? Allah shows you the problems of others and makes you see all their flaws because He's looking for the truthful to learn from that. He says, if it's bad there, it's bad everywhere. And only the truthful go home at night and say, uh-oh, it's bad here too. If you understood that, recite salawat, please. If before I said the story, your emotional negativity, your want to hug a friend was level 10, okay? The crumbly feeling, the crumbliness of time was level 10. After hearing the story of Imam Hassan and Hussein, which is still on point, but it was about talking about someone we love, if that crumbly feeling has gone down, you're going to put your hands down. Everybody put your hands up. I'm going to start saying numbers. Before the story it was 10, okay? If it's 9, put your hands down. If it's 8, put your hands down. If it's 7, put your hands down. If it's 6, put your hands down. If it's 5, put your hands down. If it's 4, put your hands down. If it's 3, put your hands down. If it's 2, put your hands down. If it's 1, put your hands down. If there isn't crumpliness there at all, put your hands down. Thank the Ahlul Bayt, please. Recite salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Very, very good. You see that? How much more time do we have? Perfect. We just used 10 minutes, and I said the exact same thing I was going to say anyways, in a way that I took the crumpliness away. You see that? Allah never presents a problem to a person that they can't solve. You see that? Never ever. They just have to admit to the one thing, I don't know. If I thought I knew, I would have picked the story that I thought was correct. I would have talked about shaitan. You see that? I simply had to ask, wait a second, I'm making an assumption, let me ask. And then what happened? You guys helped me out. Allah helped me through you. And all of a sudden, I talked about the same thing in a way that helps you. See that? That's exactly what management is, nothing else. Anybody who manages other than that is a pharaonic manager. Anybody who ever manages saying, I know, you don't know, I deserve to be here, you don't, is a, say it with me, coward Pharaoh. Say, it's a ahsan. In Islam, those who manage with humility, and those who get managed with humility. Because both understand that they have deficiencies. And both have to admit in management their deficiencies. You see that or no? Good. Is the management separate from the manager? No, it's not. A pharaonic eye will have a pharaonic management system. You see that? A divine eye will have a divine management system. Does that mean the divine management system is ma'soom? Huh? Are we saying we don't have deficiencies? No. All it's saying is that the way they see their deficiencies is different. That's it. Do you guys see that? Is the divine management system a ma'soom management system? Tell me. No, it's not. The divine management system is simply saying, I'm going to not lie to myself. I'm going to say weakness is weakness. That's it. You see that? If you see that, recite salawat, please. The Pharaonic ayah says something unique. It says, weakness can't be admitted and you have to then assume absolute strength. Because admitting anything less than absolute strength is accepting what? Weakness. See that? So every time someone says, 'cause I wanna, what are they saying? When you say, why have you done this? You say, 'cause. Not cousin, but 'cause like because. Both are very similar. Huh? I'm saying because the buck stops with me. I have the authority. I don't even have to justify my action. You see that? And if in their mindset they don't have a reasoning, what they've told themselves is, I didn't even have to justify it to myself. You see that? Every single time the I says cuz to his cuz, he says because to his cousin, right? What has that I said? It said, I don't even have to justify it to myself, let alone Uncle Tom. You see that? Who says that? That I don't have to justify it to myself. When is justification needed? When there's a potential for error. Ask, you guys are smart cookies. You see that? You're Allah's cookies, that's why you're smart. See that? So, that particular person isn't even willing to look at the weakness in the potential sense. That's how big of a coward he is. Who's the only one person in the world and universe who can say, I don't have to justify to anybody because there's no potential of me being weak? Who's that? Allah. But when he's himself, does he in the Quran, I want to show you the mercy that he has. Okay? I'm showing you the mercy that Allah has. Place yourself in Allah's shoes for a second. Everybody put yourself in those shoes. There is no deficiency in you such that you even have to even consider the possibility of a deficiency such that you have to now defend to even yourself. You could simply say be and it will be. That's how absolute you are. But you spend and send. How many prophets did he send? You spend 124,000 lifetimes telling people why you're doing what you're doing. Even though there's absolutely no deficiency in you. The sending of the prophets is out of what now? Is he deficient and that's why he has to send them? Or is it out of love and mercy? He's trying to make you understand. Out of whose deficiency are the prophets sent? Allah's deficiency or your deficiency? See that? Every single thing I've said right now, was it through a question or was it me giving you a statement as an answer? That means that all I did was I asked questions and I left. What does that tell you about yourself? You had all the? No, I want to hear, you cowards. You had all the? Exactly. You had all the answers. You were just missing the right question. That's it. Salawat, please. Why did you have all the answers? Because you're special cookies? No. Because Allah said, I put my spirit in you. Nafakhtu minhu fi ruhi, I think. I forgot the verse. He said, this is nafakhtu. I have myself, my essence into you, human. And that essence, that thing that tells you the answer inside of you, the heart of hearts, the disconnected I, that's where all the answers are coming from, correct? I'm simply putting a flashlight on it, the flashlight of questions, that's it. You see that? Ahsan. Salawat, please. So management styles again. The owned I, the divine I, manages exactly like that. It understands Allah. He's not doing anything because Allah is saying it to do it. He's doing everything because He's telling him to do it. The I inside. At any stage of your faith, you are doing anything because the Deen is telling you to do it. And your I is not. Understand one thing, you haven't understood the Deen. Does that make sense? At any time, you're wearing hijab, you're not looking at bad stuff, you're not saying bad things, and if it's compulsion from an external source, you're doing it wrong. You've not understood your Deen. Because the Deen says, obey the disconnected I. I'm sending you prophets simply to ask questions so you can go back and listen to your answers. Just don't be cowards when you hear them. You see that? That's all the Deen is. Now I want you to admit something. I don't know my faith. Every time that I'm following my faith with an external motivation, Allah is gonna get me. If that's the motivation factor, you see that? Then at some point I'm admitting I don't know my faith. At that level, that's it. That was a side tangent one, but that was essential. Salawat, please. Talked about time, talked about management styles. Management, why it has to be. Why did I spend so much time talking about management and time? Why? Take out your phones and get that URL stuff. Why? When you have a canvas that already has a painting on it, you have to spend a lot of time cleaning the canvas first, correct? Correct? Can you start painting again? You can't. The way I talked right now about time and about religion and about management, is that how you guys had understood time before? No. So I had to make sure I get rid of all the questions in your eye and ask all the right questions so your eye reaches this understanding that the previous painting was deficient. That's the only way you're going to accept the new painting. And I'm inviting you, at any point in your life you see the new painting to be deficient, admit to that and go forth as well. Do you see how admitting to this painting becomes easier? Good. Yes? Why doesn't it work? Like, what is it saying to you?
It's not free. It's not free. Yeah,
Oh, free?
yeah, it's not free.
Oh, I'm sorry about this. All the QR code was a Google sheet where I put the days on the top and the times on the left hand side. That's all it was. So do that right now for yourself. Put the days on the top somewhere on a piece of paper. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. On the other column, put the times from 4 a.m. all the way down to when you go to sleep. Please do that. You can do it on your phones. Open Google Sheets. That's all the QR code was. It was free last week. That means there's a timer I didn't know about. You understand? Okay, sorry about that. Because the adults, when they were here last week, they used the same QR code. I'm sorry about that. I should have checked the QR code again. When you're done, you're going to put your hand up. Great. As soon as you're done, you're going to stand up because it's time to go for lunch. You done? You have a question? Yeah.
So what was the second column?
So the top, you're writing down the days. On the side, you're writing down the hours of the day. So 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m. You're making a chart. Days and the hours of the days. 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. All the way to when you go to sleep. Yeah. Sorry for this. I don't know where she went with the food. This, did she? Do you think she implied the food is going to be here, or we gotta go outside?
I think I saw it there, but I can go find her.
I was thinking that if I just go there, maybe the game room has a table set up for the food. That's what they did last week.
So what instructions should say it for that?
I think we're gonna leave the girls. We're gonna move them to the collaboration room. I'm not sure.
Guys, we don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the guys. We'll close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Sister Zina. I really appreciate that.
Of course, of course.
Are you guys done? Great. What's the question?
No.
Are you done?
Okay,
Awesome. You're all done? Okay, we're gonna get food and we're gonna come back to this thing. Where's your thing? Let me see. Where's your... Oh, you're on the phone?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. We're ready for lunch, guys. You guys are done?
What time do you have to start and finish at? Like,
So you're gonna have to end it at the time where your sleep time is there. So you turn the page to the other side, put the dates on top, and then continue down the margin.
oh, okay. So it's not just 1 week.
Sorry?
It's not just 1 week. It's like another.
No, just 1 week. The 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10, all the way to what time is it?
10 or 11.
11. So go 1 hour extra. There you go. They all have phones, but if you can ask them, then
We're in the games room.
okay.
The games room sisters are in the collaboration room.
Where's the game room?
Right across.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Right? The games room is right across, isn't it?
Game rooms for the brothers and sisters, and the sisters are just trying to left.
How much time do we have to eat and come back? Half an hour? Okay, perfect. Really good. No, that's perfect. Perfect.
Back at 4:30.
Yeah. All right, guys. The brothers are in the games room for the food.
Okay.
Whenever you're finished making that chart, go there. Why? Because when we come back, we're gonna work on the chart. We're not making the chart then, okay? Whenever you're finished making the chart, go to the games room. How you doing? That was good. Yes, exactly. What I wanted.
Perfect.
The sisters are in the collaboration room. How you doing? So nice. Let's go, guys. Let's go to the guys. Let's go to the games room. You guys done your charts?
Kind of. I don't have Google Sheets. It's not downloading because the Wi-Fi speed's.
No, it's not downloading because it won't be downloading because that doesn't work. But I'm asking, do you have you were supposed to make it on your own, so on a piece of paper. So you're gonna collect the piece of paper and make it on your own, okay? On the paper. Come on, let's go eat. Come on, guys, come on. Come on. Food's there?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, yeah. It's 2 weeks out there. 1 week, right? 1 week. It came all last week. Are you guys liking this session so far? You are? Is there anything you guys want to change? Are you guys liking the session so far? What's one thing I can make this be better? If you could, sorry? Screen time? Huh? We can go back in time and tell me what advice to make it better. And if you don't make it better, I zap you. I zap you to the age you don't like.
What? A good place?
Okay, I zap you in a place that you definitely don't like.
Do this after Rotterdam.
Huh? What would the advice be?
It's really good. Maybe more examples.
Oh, very good. Examples of what?
They're really talk about something and actually most people like
Okay, okay.
so like something
Relatable example.
yeah,
Good. Next question. I'm gonna try to do that. Any other advice? More than ask questions. Very good.
Maybe some kind of power.
I'm gonna start with that. Yeah, you can remind me. Yeah, that is the next question is timetable.
I don't think a lot of people would like my take on it, but I'm a theoretical person. So examples don't really benefit me. Right? So the first two words, but after like a certain they don't really benefit me. I mean like more theory a lot.
Each example I gave, build on it. Did you see that? I did each example. Like, yeah, I did that already. I already did that exact same thing. Did you see it?
I'm not sure.
What was the deficiency that you couldn't see? I'm saying it's there. I'll show it to you if you want. But what deficiency? You have to admit to a deficiency here. What's the deficiency?
Laziness.
No.
Lack of motivation.
Wait a second. I assumed that I knew all the examples to be the same level. You didn't assume that. If you assumed each example, and you said, I didn't assume it's the same as the one before, once I see that. Motivate.
That's different.
Exactly what you're looking for. So what's the deficiency you admit to?
I assumed that it wasn't based off theory. It was just giving examples. A little bit more efficient.
Yes. Yes. See that? Oh, call me now. Just catch one. Please text me.
Dude, like, look at that.
Yeah, but look, no, he's not. Look, label. It's in the gap. All مجتهدين بالمتقن. So it's not he got it. So the customer was that correct. Which person was trying to say they don't want to want it. Which sense? What's your perspective? Yes. You're supposed to maintain a beard. I was supposed to maintain a beard. No, it's not. It's a book of what masculinity is projected, what's not, which type. If force is considered this two opinions in your society we're living right now, is this part considered part of the beard or no? If that's considered part of the beard, you can't cut it over here. But it's not, I'm not saying it's okay. Here naturally doesn't grow from over here. Okay. I just happen to go deep. Like they can't grow here. Then I'm gonna say I can't have a tea. It's because of that person never shared anything.
you shave it, then it's not. Like if you can't go right here and then you shave it, it's not.
Oh, because Sam has keep your hair there, right?
I can grow it, I just shave it.
You can keep it up to like that and shave.
It's not clean and it's hard to find it.
So what does that mean? What are you trying to say? What's the deficiency you're trying to say? No. There's deficiency. Deficiency of any. This question from where the Islamic concept coming from? It's from the idea of projection of masculinity. How much to project? Wait, I'll tell you. They said don't shave here. Okay.
So can you shave this?
It's called the beard. So that where is it? Who has to decide which area you can shave? The purpose was to project masculinity, correct? Who decides how much to project? The whole society can say this also projects masculinity. But you have to go back and say, do I worship the society or worship Ahlul Bayt? There, right? If you go to society says this is routine and we're following. No,
Listen to society, you follow society.
yeah. You see that? No, every human wants to project masculinity. Every man wants to do that. Everybody's on the same point. But which level of it should I project? I have to listen to the person I'm following. What I'm following. You decide. Which way you follow? You following the society? Don't grow. The society, how it grow? It's not. It's always out of a choice. Never. You see the difference? It's hard, brother. What the hell is that? But if I told you, this will let you know. Every human wants to protect masculinity. How much you decide by who? And you answered, whoever you submit. Question is, who do you submit? You see that? We're using the I and my framework. I do the same thing. Yeah, I have that too. These two?
No, it's worse than that. That's normal.
It was really bad before.
Mine is really like on this side it fully connects, but on this side
But
it's like patchy.
if I trim this down, it'll be really evident. When I grow it bigger, it hides the patch. You understand?
The thing is that whenever I draw it longer, everything else.
It's short.
So I think this side is
No, it's not. At the first, and then you have two patches during the exercise. And I put a string from here and use that as a line.
Pull your skin upwards like this way. Make a straight line. You want to be like go your skin over back to create like a curved line.
The curves. Sounds chunky. Too fatter. Right? I don't like being the world. I don't mind the rug world. That looks fine. I'm looking at you know.
Logical. Everything we do is you find out what that logic is.
Why do you listen to that way? Because they have more what? If you knew the logic behind it at their level, what are you saying?
Yes, it is because as a seed, 14 doesn't come. I knew the logic.
What are you saying? I have to be the same. Why do you go to the doctor? Why do you go to the doctor? They have more knowledge. I need to know the logic. Mic drop.
No, but that means you can't solve any problem.
No, do not ask your question. Do not ask doctor any questions. You can ask some questions with this correct application.
What you need to know.
To continue. What is it going to do to me? What is it going to do? Should I drive after this? Yeah. Or the only way you can do that is to first admit that the doctor knows more. If there's a doubt regarding that, you'll ask every question in the world. If you ever have a compulsion to ask, that means you have to go back and back. I have actually more knowledge of what I'm doing.
I was just asking to figure out like gray
I'm not saying you, I'm saying whoever in the world is. You get the point though? You got the point. I can see in your eyes. You're a smart cookie. You're Allah's cookie. You're Allah's cookie. Isn't here?
Yeah.
Everything good so far?
Alhamdulillah.
You happy with the way things are working?
As long as you're happy,
I'm super happy.
that's alhamdulillah.
I have like cameras everywhere, man. Cool.
Do you want to start at 4:30?
Yeah, you can get them.
Yeah.
They're gonna rally the troops.
Let me get.
You seem a lot calmer.
When he comes, I'm telling you, when he comes. When he comes, I'm much calmer.
That effect.
He was missing.
Why?
Ask him.
No, why did you feel calmer when he comes?
Because I can delegate to someone. He's the one that I can trust. When I can delegate to.
More than that.
Tell me more.
No, I think that's
No, I want to know now.
I think that's it.
Now I'm curious.
That's it.
There's a lot more. How's it going?
Sorry?
How's it going? So
I gathered feedback from the sisters.
I gathered from the brothers.
Okay. So they were, some of them just like, there was a lot of them that were just very, very quiet. The census right now is this is not what I thought I was coming to.
Yeah.
I'm not learning anything.
Okay, good.
So I wrote notes down
Good.
because I often forget. Do you want me to give it to you now, or
Yeah, and I want to
Yeah?
because we have about 6-7 minutes before they come back,
Okay.
and that's the time I can formulate. So what I'm going to do after this
Mhm.
is literally take them through how to make an actual schedule now.
So one of the things.
Can we have a seat?
Yeah. Okay. So overall, it was. First, it was like, this is not what I signed up for. This is not helpful. There's no strategies. And I said, okay, I hear you. So I just like keep it coming. And I said, okay, now tell me what you thought you were coming for, right? Because I need to
Identify the
know
need.
what their motivation is. Exactly. So they said things like, I thought it was coming for time management skills. I'm like, I get it. Like he's laying the foundation, but I've heard all of this Islamic stuff before.
Okay.
I was like, okay, what do you need?
Mhm.
What did you come for? So like they weren't even really able to identify it.
Okay.
So I was like peeling back the layers
Okay.
and layers. So I said, give me a specific one, right? So I didn't want to use the same words you were using. So give me a specific thing that you were struggling with right now. Never going to sleep on time. I said, okay. So now, I said, can I offer you a suggestion? She's like, yes. I said, do you know when we talked about deficiency? That's you identifying your deficiency.
Deficiency, exactly.
So I don't think they've made the
Connection yet.
but their brains are younger. So when you're doing this with me, I'm like, yep, I get it, okay, I can identify my deficiency. These guys are just, I have a problem, can you fix it?
Yeah.
That's kind of their thought. And then one of them said, in a majlis I heard, Islamically, on the Day of Judgment, every hour will be in a box. What's inside is reflective of what you did with your time. So then she said, if you did something positive, it will be light inside, neutral, and negative, right? And then one of them, I found this interesting. She goes, why should I care?
Good. That was the
Why
whole.
should I care?
Good.
If I don't care, I'm not motivated.
Good.
I'm here to find out why and how to get motivated again while I don't care.
Yes.
It's like, okay, very good. One of them said, I'm just so tired, I don't care.
What's the deficiency there?
Right? So then we talked a little bit, and then I said, what do you need? After lunch, what do you need to make it work?
So both of those ladies, the first one is saying, I don't know what our primary need is. The second one is saying, I'm too exhausted to think of my primary need.
So I think the overall theme again is they're not making the connection. So I said, okay, hang on to all this, because my understanding of his plan, he's going to get to strategy.
Yes.
Do you remember the box he left you with the table and stuff? I'm pretty sure he's going to do something with that, guys.
Of course.
Right?
Yes.
So
We're working with primary
pretty
needs
sure
first.
He's going to go do that stuff. I think like my overall feedback for this age group
Yes.
will be they're so conditioned in school to have an agenda,
Yes.
a plan. So right now they're all like, this is all wishy-washy.
Okay, good.
So I think for this age group, it's here's the plan, guys.
Okay.
Whereas when you come, we're talking. I've gone through all of this stuff.
Yes.
I'm able to follow along differently. My brain's developed a little bit more. These guys aren't, right? So I think that would be the overall feedback is they need more structure for their development level.
Okay.
They're coming in pain or forced.
Good. So
Those are the two
reasons are
a
here.
couple of these girls here, they're mostly forced. One girl in particular, the mom
I could see the face.
one girl in particular, the mom is here, supervising that she doesn't leave. I can't even go talk to that mom. But anyway. And she keeps checking that her daughter's still sitting there.
Yeah, that's actually bad.
She's not gonna get anything out of it.
Not only that, she's gonna
So I'm
hate
gonna
this.
go stop. So I'm gonna go talk to this
And that negativity is gonna spread to everybody else around her too. You know why? Because we communicate with our body a lot more than we do with our
Absolutely. You can see it in her eye rolls. You can see it in the way she's slouching. Like I'm observing everyone here too. So I think that's the thing. The missing piece for these guys is no structure, and they're not able to make this connection yet.
Good.
So perhaps the opening is I jump right in.
Mhm.
It's you know how you told me what your plan is, how these sessions, even the Nasiha one, is split into 3.
Yes.
Maybe they need to know what your plan is.
Oh.
So hey guys, quick recap. The reason I introduced this, because you need buy-in, right?
Mhm.
So the reason I introduced what I did the first part was not to give you yet another Islamic lecture,
Mhm.
was to lay the foundation in our faith.
Yes.
Once we have that, we're going to move on to strategies,
Mhm.
right? What I hope you have by now is identified at least one deficiency
Mhm.
that you want to work on.
Perfect. So what I'm thinking over here is that the mistake I made is that homework I gave them to close their eyes and figure out their primary identity. They didn't do that. Because I
It's
didn't
too
give.
broad for them.
Because the fault isn't theirs.
Hmm.
The fault is mine. I said, do something that you weren't able to do before now without any training. Okay? Well, the fault is mine there. And so now if I give them to do the homework after the training is done with the Pharaonic group and so on and so forth, it might actually have an impact.
Right.
So I'm going to redo the homework before the 24 hours. Say, what bothers you about your week?
Yeah.
And
And then run with that, because
exactly.
your goal here is to walk them through deficiency
Yes.
with a system,
Yes.
the strategies, which
Yes.
is what they're
Yes.
Then it's copy and paste, guys.
Yeah. Okay, so the guys, he over here told me, thank you, I connected the dot. I was like, what? That I know all the eyes in the world want to project who they are. I'm a masculine eye, I want to project a masculinity. Masculinity is the projection of having beards. Okay? 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 Then he said, okay. My question was, can I have a goatee or not? And so far, I was telling myself that everybody else in society calls it a beard, but I realized I'm just submitting to society. I'm supposed to be submitting to Ahlul Bayt. So that the Ahlul Bayt consider this a beard or not, as a display of masculinity. You see that? This kid is no longer keeping a beard because parents are telling him to do so.
Yeah.
He is keeping a beard out of projection of masculinity. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. It's so interesting to get these young minds talking.
Yes.
Because their perception, like what they're actually taking in, is so uniquely different than a group of adults.
We as individuals who apparently grow in the intellectual realm, like I've gone to the whole apparently grown. We've gone to the we've taken the apparent channels of growth. We are told by the Ahlul Bayt that the actual growth in purity is a lot easier in the children because there's no apparent barriers. So they emphasize working with the youth there. If I admit my fault right now and fix it, the chances of growth here is a lot more than if they're all adults. Because they say, look at this jerk. See that?
Yeah. And I think the other thing is, as an adult, right, going through my growth, the steps I've taken, the education level, all of the things, right? I've spent a lot of time already. I'm coming to you with, I already know my deficiencies. These guys haven't worked on introspection too often. They see it at the surface level. I don't want to study. I'm too tired. And this, but they're not understanding that that is kind of the deficiency that you need to work on right now.
But Susan, that won't work. You know why? Because even I don't know my deficiencies. I only know them to my level.
Of course, to you. But that's what I'm saying is that these guys, I think it's different when you say to me, close your eyes and identify something. I can do it like
Yes.
These guys, they're not, nobody gives them this.
Yes.
So you have, for example, a 14-year-old female.
Yes.
I guarantee you she's never been asked to do this activity. So they don't have the skill set because they don't have the experience with any of this.
I'm gonna try again.
Yeah.
I'll try again with the
Yeah.
homework and work with their
Really, really good. I think they will get what they came for when you get to strategies.
Yes. Yes.
Because again, especially here
Yes.
in our
Yes.
school
Yes.
system,
Yes.
problem, solution.
Yes.
Problem, solution. We don't dig deep.
Yes. There's one thing that I want to talk to you about afterwards.
Okay.
I'll forget it. That's what I'm telling you. This idea that you just presented, at max, it keeps you at a ceiling.
Sorry, say that again?
This idea, I know my deficiencies, I'm able to identify them. At max, it keeps you at a ceiling.
Yeah.
at max. You're saying, because you're either getting 100% of what you have right now or less than that. But the 100% you have right now is not the actual 100%. So this mindset is something that even like Mujtahideen and Maraji'een, they actively break in class for us. Saying you're able to see all the mistakes you can see now. Because they bring the Quran to us and they tell us, hey look, you're only able to see what you can see now. You think you've seen everything. But the thing is the Quran. There's a bottomless pit of knowledge here. What that means is growth has a bottomless ceiling. Like there's no ceiling to there.
There is no ceiling.
That means that if you, at any point you think, I know, you don't know.
Absolutely.
So anytime, so you can only grow if you're saying, I don't know my deficiencies. You don't know your deficiencies. We're both trying to do the same thing. So they break it day in and day out for us.
Yeah, because I think that's the other piece that potentially this group needs to learn too, that it's not a one and done.
No.
Right? So what I was getting to earlier was like, you've identified one deficiency. Now let's just take that one and come up with
Exactly.
And then we go deeper, and then we go deeper, and you will always find more.
Perfect.
Right? And like you said, because you're not Muslim.
Yes.
So you're going to have
Exactly.
amount of deficiencies at every level.
Every level.
And it's not a bad thing.
That is the definition that you're not God.
Yeah. And the ability to introspect, identify, and do based on your fitra is exactly what we're supposed to be doing. Right?
I'm going to make a second attempt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Can you see if I've improved in this time?
Sorry?
Can you see if I've improved? I'm going to try to implement what I've learned right now.
Yep.
See if I've improved.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل على محمد. Alright guys, before the lunch, alhamdulillah we had lunch. Before the lunch, now our stomachs are a bit fuller, we made charts where the days were at the top and the times were on the side, correct? It was from roughly 6 a.m.-ish till the time you go to bed. Okay, what we've done up until now was the idea of talking about this thing called identifying what is frustrating me, what's bothering me. Okay? This is what I want you to look at your chart. You're looking at the empty chart right now, okay? You're seeing in this chart, okay? You're looking at it. Look at the emptiness of the chart in the morning hours, okay? Look at the emotions you feel typically around 6 a.m. to around 8 a.m. If you're feeling exhaustion, you're going to put the word exhaustion in the morning hours. Go put it. If you're feeling exhaustion, you're going to put the word exhaustion. Go ahead. No, just one day. You can pick any one particular day. Just put one thing. You don't even have to put it at a day. You can put it on the side of the timeline. You can say 6 to 8, this chunk. I'm trying to get you guys to identify your wrinkle of time, your ripple of time, your crimpliness of time. Okay? The 6 to 8 slot, if you're feeling exhausted, is it a physical exhaustion, or do you feel that you're just too much to think about the day? Panicky mode, emotional exhaustion. Which one is it? To write physical exhaustion, so P exhaustion, or E exhaustion, emotional exhaustion. 6 to 8 a.m. Okay. 8 a.m. your classes start, correct? Right? 8 a.m. till noon time. What's your feeling? Just before lunch. You know, lunchtime you get that hunger and that tiredness. Okay? Just before that time, what's the feeling? Is the feeling of emotional exhaustion or physical exhaustion is carried forth? Write down for yourself. Each person is going to be different. I want you to now think, in that particular time, other than classroom, what type of thoughts come to you? If it's about the family, on your own piece of paper, privately, write family. If it's about a specific person, a relationship, a specific one, you find you think about that thing sometimes in that time slot. You're writing that relationship. If it's a relationship and any other associate, like your finances, your job, the what ifs, what if I don't get accepted here? What if I don't get accepted there? What if this happened or that happened? Whatever that thing is that's kind of causing that emotional wrinkle, from 8 a.m. where you're supposed to be in school till just before the lunchtime where the hunger is about to kick in, you're putting that in. These are typically the thoughts that you end up thinking about when you go autopilot mode in class. Autopilot mode happens and you go into autopilot la la land, whatever that thing is. If it's about, look how strong I am, look I could fly, what if I could do this? If it's about projections of strength, you're writing that down. You see that? If it's about rumination on weakness, you're writing that down. 8 just before lunch. Around lunchtime, you're pretty much just listening to your tummy. Correct? There's a hunger that's felt. Correct? After that, all the way before you have to leave, do the same exercise as before now. You know exactly how your after dhuhr or after lunchtime till before you have to leave looks like. Do you reminisce about the same things, or has the modality shifted after lunch? You now think about what happened in the day, or you're thinking about what's going to happen when you go home. Is there happy thoughts or sad thoughts? Everybody following along so far? Anybody not able to do this? If you're not able to do it, just put your hands up because I have to explain better. Okay. What? Oh, you need paper or pencils? You're good? Okay. Anybody need papers and pencils? You have phones and stuff? You're doing this? Can we just make papers and pencils accessible in case I didn't? Sorry about that. Good. Now you're getting in the car or bus to get home. Okay? Think of the thoughts that are occupying your mind at that point. Write down the major themes you're thinking of. If it's a person, if it's a situation, if it's from school or if it's from home, where are your thoughts? As I'm taking you through this, I'm taking myself through my day, by the way. You understand? Alright, you've arrived at home. What's the first thing that's kind of coming to your mind? If it's exhaustion, lying down, sleep, relaxation, I'm cooked. Or is it I'm excited? Or I'm looking forward to this? Are you glad to be home? Or are you sad to be home? You're writing that down. If you're glad to be home, beside that, write what you're glad about. Could be comfort, family, games, sleep, cleanliness. If you're sad to be home, you're writing, why are you sad? I'm sad I have to say sorry to friends. I'm sad because now I have to clean this room. I'm sad because I don't know what's going to happen. See that? Approximately what time have we reached? If somebody has reached at this particular point 5 p.m., put your hands up. If you've reached before 5 p.m., put your hands up. Oh, interesting. If you've reached after 5 p.m., put your hands up. Okay. What time did you reach? What time have you reached? 8 p.m.? 6 p.m., okay. What time did you reach? Yeah.
6:30.
Okay. You're given 24 hours, you're also given an explicit, specific energy bank as well. That one is person specific, not general. You understand? I was taking you through emotions. Where you've reached kind of tells you how quickly that's depleting. Why? Because you felt all these emotions at this particular time. That means that the later day that you've reached, actually, the easier day you have had so far. Do you understand?
So if you hadn't reached till 5 o'clock-ish, you're before that, there's some management to do beforehand. Let's continue further. Around this time, there's supper time and family time. Consider your emotions there. Is it a compelled attendance on the dinner table, or is it a willed attendance on the dinner table? Are you sitting on the dinner table or setting up or whatever you're doing? Are you doing it because of another outside, or is there a need you have to be there? Write that down. After dinner, all the way to sleeping time, consider your emotions there. Now you're looking at the car ride towards the sleeping bed. Are you going towards sleep compelled to sleep or wanting to sleep? If you're compelled, what's compelling you? The exhaustion of the day or the want to go in the next day? If it's want to go in the next day, another way of saying that is willed sleep. As you're going to sleep, do you know when you're going to wake up? Or you have no intention in when you're going to wake up? If you chose a time of wake up, right, I'm time dependent. If you chose an activity to wake up, right, you're activity dependent in sleeping. Some people say, I want to wake up 6 a.m. no matter what I have. Others say, I want to wake up and there's an activity to wake up for. There's a big difference between the two styles. All right. You have that chart there now, right? Awesome. The first thing on that chart you're going to put down now is your physical needs. What's the first physical need all humanity has?
Oxygen.
Okay, sleep. Oxygen. How are you going to put oxygen on the time? Is there a time in that day you don't want oxygen? You're going to put oxygen onto the charts? Okay, sleep. How many hours of sleep do you need? You as a person. Look back at yourself in the last lifetime that I just had. When I got 6 hours of sleep, was that enough for me? Was 7 what I needed? When did I feel fresh last? Approximately what time do I wake up and I feel fresh? You don't have to look past a Sunday, I think, for most people. And if that's the case, what time did I sleep or do I tend to go to sleep on Saturdays? And then you know how much sleep you generally need right now while in an exhausted phase. Okay? It's typically a lot more than what you actually need once you're regulated. Why? Because you're in an exhausted phase. Okay. What's the second primary need after sleep? Food. Have you had up until now a plan of when you're going to eat? If not, say astaghfirullah. You're going to put down, when do you feel hungry? You know when you wake up, you haven't had any food all night? You're eating when you feel hungry. You have to act with what you have right now to regulate and manage to a particular standard. If you from today say, I'm going to fit the standard of what everybody else should be fitting, you're not doing it right. You understand? You went through the day. In your school time, when do you start to feel hungry? Can you tell the school, hey, you better have lunch this time because I feel hungry at this time? No. But can you pack a little bit of a snack at that time for yourself and quickly put some nuts or something like that, dates or something like that in your mouth and chew, get that initial feeling of hunger gone? You can, right? Okay, great. So if your time of hunger in your school time does not match exactly the time of hunger or time of kind of lunch time in school, figure out, is it before lunch I get hungrier? Yes or no? If I do, you better be taking some sort of a 1 or 2 snacks with you. And that's nothing more than 2 or 3 almonds, or if almonds are not allowed, a date. That's it, nothing more. It's just to make sure that time emotional crumple doesn't happen. That's it. Okay. Please ensure that your sleep is something that's in appropriate, consistent units of REM cycles. You understand that? What's a REM cycle?
Like it's a full cycle of sleep. Isn't it like 90 minutes?
Well, it's a person-specific cycle, true, and it's an approximate range, true. So that's something you're going to have to figure out, but make sure you're trying to first work with an hour and a half chunks. But is that exact for each person? No, you're going to figure that out slowly, slowly. For some, it might be an hour and 20. Others, it might be an hour and 40. But you got to figure out what your need is, the I deficiency. You understand? Make sure your sleep is that way. You might find that you have to sleep at 20 minutes earlier, and you'll be surprised, but it might be better to sleep 20 minutes later. You understand that? Make sure the planned sleep is in chunks of REMs. You done that? Okay. The third need is the need for what? Energy, right? You need some level of exercise. Are you trying to be physically fit and go to the gym? Are you trying to become Olympians? No. Just to regulate your body, you need exercise. Regulate your emotions, you need exercise. Regulate your nafs for spirituality, you need movement and exercise. You're not looking to build in an hour of workout here. You're building in just the daily amount of activity you need to make sure that you are active. Why? Because that mindset that you're trying to set for yourself is one of change, activity, motivation. The trait you're building here is not muscles, it's that I'm willing to put the effort in. You're trying to get that understanding. That's it. The purpose of this level of exercise is not to build muscle. It's to develop this mindset of, I'm willing to put the effort in. I'm willing to change. You see that? So it's no more than like 7 minutes of a HIIT exercise, really, to develop that thinking. You understand that? Something very simple, but high intensity. Where are you going to place it in your day? Each person is going to be different. If you're feeling you're extremely exhausted in the morning, is that the best place to place it? Not until you fix your sleep cycle. Correct? Correct? If you're going to place it in the evening right now, are you going to help your sleep cycle or destroy it? Getting pumped up to do a lot of work at nighttime, is it going to help you or destroy it? Okay, so if you're having trouble with the sleep cycle, you're feeling that exhaustion in the morning, you're not putting the activity for exercise in the early mornings or the nighttime. Where are you putting it?
Middle of the day.
Sure. Find a time that's proportionally separate from the wake-up time where you feel exhaustion and the night time where you're trying to go to sleep. Make sure it's something that's not close to either poles. Later on, when your sleep is more regulated, you're going to place that activity for, I'm motivated to act, I'm motivated to do things earlier in the morning. But only do that when you've set the scaffolding for it, when you've regulated the sleep appropriately. Is anybody stuck so far? No. If you're finding this to be helpful and what you signed up for, put your hand up. I need to see them up, 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 up in the sky. Up, 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 up in the sky. Good job. Thank you. If you're finding still there's something missing, put your hand up. Good. Good, 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 good. What's missing still for you?
I feel like you're not really giving us a way to like identify what tasks you need to get done per day and
Good, good.
fit that in.
So far, what have I done?
You've put necessary things, but you haven't put things that like change. So, for example, 1 week you may have a lot of assignments or a lot of tests.
Good, good, good. Who's showing up to do the assignments and tests? You, right? If it's a crumpled you, it's going to be a crumpled assignment you do. Correct or not correct? Before I can make sure the assignment is ironed out, I have to make sure you're ironed out. Correct? That's why I started with the physical needs. Do you understand? Before you iron out anything else, you got to iron out who's showing up. Does that make sense? If it's a crumbly me showing up to the assignments, am I going to be able to do a good assignment? No. As soon as I fix the crumbly I and make it ironed out I, do you think that's going to impact the assignment if I touch nothing else? Imagine sitting at a table, the same assignment, but your exhaustion is gone. You think you can do better? How many of you think you're going to do the exact same, whether you're exhausted or you're not? You see that? You think you can do the exact same? Okay, there's a deficiency here to identify. Why? You're saying exhaustion doesn't matter to me. Why?
Discipline.
Okay, you're saying if that's the case, discipline, then I'm going to push through, correct?
Yeah.
You can push through one assignment or two assignments. What if I put 15 there? What's going to happen?
I overwork.
Overwhelm, right? Burnout, correct? When burnout happens, this is how it, for somebody who says discipline is my motivator, this is how it goes. They're very productive and they spearhead and strongman through all problems and they crash. See that? Then they spend a lot of time down here. And they say, I gotta do work. And they come back up here. Not prepared to come back up here with no management style. Okay? And what happens is, they're saying, okay, I'm gonna spearhead through things and strongman through things. And they crash. And this time, this duration was less. You understand? Then they beat themselves up a bit. Okay, I'm strong, I can do it. And they come back up here. And this time, what happens after that? They don't have the strength to get up. That's burnout. You understand? Great. Ever thought of burnout that way? It's a rahmah of Allah, by the way. It's showing you, hey, you're growing too fast. You're growing too fast. That's what burnout means. All right. You know when you're riding your bicycle really, really, really fast? Right? You know when it gets a little bit wobbly, and you can't control it? That wobble is the mercy of Allah. Because it's telling you you're going too fast, you can't control it here. What happens if you ignore the wobble and you go even faster? Oh, and then what happens? Oh, then you crash. Correct? Those wobbles are the mercy of Allah. That's burnout. Telling you, wait a second, you're going too fast. Okay? All right. Your sleep, you've charted right now, correct? How much have you pruned your current sleep? I simply told you, when do you already sleep? When did you sleep yesterday? Pick up your sleeping times from yesterday. And I said, just right now, adjust them to fit REM cycles. So right now, you've only demanded one thing of yourself. An adjustment of sleep to ensure that it's in units of REM cycles. Have I told you you're going to change the hour you sleep as well? No, it's too much change in one shot. Does that make sense? I'm simply saying the adjustment by at max 20 minutes before or after. You're simply making sleep chunks of the REM cycle. That's it. Take more than that step and you're in trouble. Because you're signing up for too much. Is it hard to shift your sleep by 15 minutes or 20 minutes? Not that hard, right? You see that? You see that? Great. Management styles. Initially, make sure your sleep is in REM cycles. I said you need some sort of activity. Did I tell you to add like an hour of workout or just like a 5 or 6 minute workout? Correct? It has to be high intensity, done without a gym, at home. Are you going to drive out of your house for a 6 minute workout? No. So it has to be something that you can do right there, right on the spot. Jumping jacks, burpees, whatever you want. 6 minutes, nothing more. Are you doing it at a time where you're already crumply and exhausted? Nope, so it's not in the mornings. Are you doing it just before bed? Nope, it's not there. So you've put it on your schedule somewhere every single day consistently between the two poles. You see that? I'd suggest when you feel less exhausted. So for those people who come home with relief, do it there. For those people who are coming home exhausted to come home, like they don't want to be at home, right? Don't put it right away when you come home. Put it somewhere else. You understand that? You're making a person-specific plan for yourself. You're accounting for the difficulties you have. And your emotions are helping you recognize where those are and how to plan. Does that make sense? Ever thought of scheduling like this before? If you had, put your hands up. If you had not, put your hands up. Hands up, hands up. Declaring you had not is declaring this is new, this is good, I'm happy. And you're declaring it to other people, you're making them also recognize this is valuable. Oh yeah, this is cool. Thank you. Put your hands up. Good. Irsal salawat, please. Okay. Physical needs we talked about. Correct? What's after physical needs? Emotional needs. Okay? When you were at school, I asked you guys what types of thoughts come, right? Okay? If those thoughts are of, I want to punch my enemy, like negative thoughts, understand you have that type of emotional need not being met. If those thoughts were, I want to hug a friend, thoughts of loved ones, then understand that's the emotional need that's not being met. When is somebody going to be thinking of pizza? When they are hungry. Ahsant. So the thoughts you were thinking in the school in the morning, you wrote these things down, correct? That is your assistant, your identifier. That's the blessing Allah has given you. Recognize what need of yours is not being met. Out of confidentiality, I'm not getting you to share. I'm just helping you through mechanisms. It's very hard, trust me. I'm panicking. Why? Because I have to give you an algorithm that fits all of you. Is that going to be easy or hard? Huh? Hard. I want to really help every single one of you, so I got to think really hard before I give an algorithm. Correct or not? Okay, good. If the thought is of punching your enemy, identify, is that person a position of an enemy or position of a friend? This is really important. If the position of that particular person you want to punch, that negative feeling you got towards them, if it's a family member there, a friend there, and you understand there's a ruptured relationship that you have to work on. What's the level of the rupture? It's exactly appropriate to the amount of you want to punch them. The intensity of the negative thought and the frequency of it. That's the greatness of the rupture. Allah is showing you every single thing. Go ahead.
Wait, but that isn't the same amount. For example, some people have more control over their anger than others, right?
No. Each person has proportionate control over the anger, correct? So how badly is your need to fix this rupture will be you specific. And hence, the amount of emotions you feel will come to you. Each person has a different stomach size, correct? But the hunger intensity, is it different on stomach sizes? Nope. Meaning somebody with a really big stomach and somebody with a really small stomach, can you say, that guy gets more hungry, this guy gets less hungry? Nope. You understand that? The hunger is a percentage value, correct? The emotions are that too. He's saying, what if somebody has a greater capacity? I'm saying it's not about that at all. Allah has made a system that's very specific to you. If it riles you up, it's a need you have. Period. And if you're not getting riled up, you're not a real person, by the way. You're a robot. You understand? Islam is not about the denial of emotion. It's about the acceptance and assistance of the intellect by means of the emotion. Some people think that the intellect is the king of the emotions. They forget that the emotions are the only thing helping the intellect grow. An intellect trying to make an intellectual decision that does not account for the emotions and what they've said is not intellect. It's the pharaonic eye. You understand that? Great. So if that ruptured relationship, it was your family or friend, sibling, who comes to mind, that's the relationship that needs to be worked on. If it was somebody who was your enemy, not your family, would you feel sad about the fact that you have to punch them or happy about the fact that you have to punch them? It was shaitan you were thinking of. Tell me. If you're thinking of shaitan, you're going to feel sad about punching it or happy? Happy. But you guys didn't feel happy about punching this person, correct? And hence it was someone you actually like. If you didn't like it, if you didn't like them, punching them would be a happy memory. You understand? I need you to admit a deficiency regarding that ruptured relationship. I like that individual. That's why I'm angry. I have a need for this relationship to work. That's why I'm getting riled up. Otherwise, if I was punching shaitan in the face, I'd be happy. This wouldn't be one of those bad thoughts at all. Are you following what I'm saying? Are you following the algorithm? Are you following the algorithm? If you're not, put your hands up. Good. Ask your question. Ask.
I'm mostly following. I just don't understand. You have you get either angry or happy during. Are you saying that you either get angry that you would at somebody specifically, or you would get happy?
So in my day, I'm going through my day, and I'm like, my daughter and my son, they have been complaining that I don't take them to the park as much. That thought comes to me. You see that? You see that? Does that thought making me happy or sad? Sad, right? Okay? The second time, another thought's coming to me. My dad said he wants me to help him. That makes me happy. You see that? I'm looking at my emotion. You see that?
They don't all go under those two categories.
All emotions would go under a feeling of positivity or negativity, correct? Positivity is wanting to hug a friend. Negativity, want to punch an enemy. See that? So when it's my kids, am I trying to punch my kids or am I trying to punch my deficiencies? Ahsant, I'm saying I'm not able to take my kids to the park. That's why I'm punching myself there. You see that? You see that? I really love if I didn't like my kids, would I want to take them to the park? No. You see that? With my dad helping him move, it made me happy. Why? Because I like that he asked me for something. Why? Because I like that my dad values me. Oh, you see that? Okay, I now know both of those things. Allah is saying, wait a second, you helping your dad isn't you helping him, it's you helping yourself because you need that. You need to feel valued by dad. You see that? It's Allah telling you how to go after your rizq, the emotional rizq, in both senses. I want you to see this point. I give you my personal example right now. You see that or no? My kids, I love them. And Allah is saying, warning sign, bike wobble. You love them and you want to take them to the park. And if you don't, what's going to happen? Most people start focusing on what's going to happen to the kids. And that's why they're not motivated to change. You understand? Focus on yourself first, in the right way, in the divine eye way. Quran says, قُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ وَأَهْلِيكُمْ نَارًا. Save yourself and your ahl, your family, from fire. Self first. That's the primary motivator. You understand? In an airplane, you're sitting down, the video plays, that's really annoying. They play in multiple languages sometimes. And when the mask drops down, put the mask on who first? Okay. Why? Ahsant. You can only peacefully help others if you got your needs fulfilled. If your needs are not fulfilled, can you help others? Not in a less than chaotic way. Okay? I focus on my kids. I say, okay, but I have a need to be a good Baba. And if I'm not taking them to the park, then the problem is where? My deficiency being pointed out. Correct? You see that? The perspective shift from 2:30, 2:45 till now that we're trying to make is what? Identifying what? Our weakness, our deficiency. Correct? Great. Are the pieces clicking in slowly, slowly? If they are, put your hands up. Great. If they're still not, put your hands up. That means I have a deficiency I have to overcome. You're going to help me a lot by putting your hands up now. Good. What's not clicking in?
Sure. I had a quick question.
Yes, yes.
So, do you know how I can balance between school and work?
School and work?
Yeah, if I have lots of work and then like.
What type of work are you talking about?
Like, homework.
Okay, you're saying, how do I balance between school and schoolwork? Yeah. Correct? Great. Very, very good. So what's the balance that you have to do? Are you ever trying to go to school while you're doing homework?
I think I'm going to try and complete it after school.
Sorry?
I'm going to try and complete it after school.
Okay, my question is this. You said balance between those two. I'm just trying to clarify your question. It's a very deep question, okay? But I'm just trying to make it clear. I'm just trying to ask questions so that question becomes more of a question, okay? You see the question? Okay. When you're at school, are you doing your homework at school? No. When you're doing homework at home, do you have to be at school? No. So it's definitely not an idea of I want to balance my homework and school in terms of time, correct? Yeah. Good. What are you trying to balance there? What did you mean by balance?
Like balancing, like the amount of time I have when completing the task.
To succeed where? It's a very deep question. Tell me.
To succeed in my work.
Nope, it wasn't your work. The rest of your needs.
Yeah, to succeed in the other tasks I have to do for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Eating.
Whatever you wanted to do. Correct? To be you. Right?
Yeah.
Was that your original question or no? Was it?
Because by work he meant like chores and eating and like other things other than school.
Oh, you meant other than school?
Yeah.
Okay. You're saying, how do I make sure I do my school tasks and other tasks, right?
Yeah.
Good. It's the same question. He's saying, listen. We all have a primary occupation. For some, it's counselors. For some, it's teachers. For us, it's students. And all those primary occupations has a workload too. How do I meet all of my other needs while making sure those needs are also being met? That's the primary question. It's a deep question. You understand that? What's the depth? See, I understand all of them are my needs. How do I prioritize them such that all of them are met and one is not dropped? Okay? Great. Put yourself in the shoes of Shaitan for a moment. If he wants you to drop the plate that's in your hand, what does he have to make you think? First is that you don't need the plate, but he can't, because he cannot hide a need from you. He just masks it in a different way. That's it. Understand? Because need is something you feel. Okay? What is he going to do?
He's going to tempt you?
No, he can only add. The plate that you already have, you can lift already. God made that way. He's going to say, I'm going to start to now mess with your balance in two ways. Either I'm going to add the weight on that plate unnecessarily, so you're going to take up tasks you don't really need to take up. Or I'm going to kick your legs. You understand that? I'm going to get rid of systems that you have that are holding you up. What are the systems you have that are holding you up? Management styles, family relationships. You see that? Two things only. Identify in your week things that you have, that you're taking up, that are the additions Shaitan is doing. And you're going to do that by opening your battery app on your phones and look at your screen times. And you're going to put a number on a piece of paper. You're going to see the amount of time you spend on your screen opened, and it's going to give you a list of the apps, right? Okay. See how much time you spent on Instagram, YouTube, browser. Am I saying get rid of all of it? Nope. I'm saying choose to get rid of the amount that you need to not feel overwhelmed in your day. You see that? Choose to get rid of the amount, the only amount, that lets you fit in the rest of the needs of the day. Question. Anybody have that number at 3 hours a day on the screen time? Anybody had that number at 4 hours a day? 5 hours a day? 6 hours a day? 7 hours a day? 8 hours a day? Did you know we had numbers up of 5 and 6? If I gave you a magic wand to add 6 hours to your day, would you take it? Would you feel less overwhelmed? Would you feel less overwhelmed? Would you feel that you have more time to rest? Would you feel more prepared for school? Would you feel more energetic towards maintaining your relationships? Shaitan can only come and bother you in two ways. Can't get rid of the needs. Can only add unnecessary needs or kick you in the legs. And he only kicks you in the legs by first adding unnecessary needs, so you disrupt your own management styles. So you mess up your own relationships. You understand? You add too much time on social media or any other time eater. Okay? It could be a toxic friendship. Or you're sitting and talking for 6 hours, and now your 6 hours are gone. You understand? Sometimes it's religious talk. So we had the greatest hangout session. We talked from midnight all the way to Fajr. Like, great. What did you do after that? Then we slept till Maghrib. Like, okay. But I gotta tell you, talking about Tawheed there. Like, yeah, but you did shirk after that, bro. Who cares? Who cares? You dropped every single responsibility you had for the whole day. And you chose to. When? You chose to spend the night talking. Okay, you understand this? Say salawat, please. Okay, my physical battery is dying. Who needs a little bit of a wiggle time, like standing up and walking around, just digesting what happened, kind of, and coming back in a minute? Who needs that time? Put your hands up. Okay, I need that time. Can we just stand up and just wiggle for a moment, for a second? Wiggle, wiggle. All right, sit down, guys. We have just entered the third phase of the session. The first phase was building theory and foundation. The second phase was me helping you identify, generally speaking, where you have to have systems and the importance of it. From now until the end, you are working on one specific system only, okay? Before you leave, you need that one mechanism of management done and your time slots ready for it, and you're sticking to that one. Identify the thing that is the most problematic for you, where you feel the most exhaustion. You know how God has helped you there? It's the one that riles you up the most. It's the one that consumes the most kind of energy out of you on the daily. Okay? So if you're just looking at what type of a feeling occurs the most in me. If it's the feeling of exhaustion, you're working on sleep. If it's the feeling of emotional exhaustion, right? See, what is it stemming from? If it's coming from schoolwork and progression there, you're working on an educational management system.
What if it's a mixture?
You want to see which one's the most, and your nafs will tell you. You pick, I get rid of this box or that box. Which box would you pick? Whichever one the nafs picks, that's the one you're working on.
So we're looking for which one affects us the most?
Yes, that's the one that is the best management system for you to make now. Your management system. That's your next step. It's not his next step, because this is specific to him, right? It's your next step. Does that make sense? Identify that one item, that one particular thing, that if I could get rid of that one thing, I'll give $1 billion for that. What's that one item? That one emotion? If it's linked with sleep, so if it's exhaustion, you're working on a sleep pattern. If it's mental exhaustion, ask yourself, is it stemming from growth in my occupation, i.e. students in school? That means you're working on a study system, correct? Or is it stemming from my family unit? That means you're working on a relationship system. You see that? But you're identifying only one system of improvement right now for yourself. That's the primary emotion aggravator. The PER. And what we're working on is the regulator for that, correct? Once you've identified it, put your hands up. Good. Once you've identified it, put your hands up. Great, 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 great. If it's sleep, put your hands up. If it's school, put your hands up. If it's family relationships, put your hands up. Family, friends, anything else. I want to be a better dad. Great. All right. That's really good. If it's sleep, no matter which one you picked, if I give you a list of like 15 rules, you think you're going to stick to those? No. You'll try. How many rules can you kind of just manage? Like, this much you can manage. For each person it's going to be different, right? You see that? If you can manage just one rule, okay, put your hands up. Like if you make one rule to stick to right now, I can manage that. That's all I can do right now though. I know myself. No, so all of you should be able to do at least one, right? Put your hands up. Come on, guys. If you can do 2, keep your hands up. The rest of you put your hands down. If you can do 2 or more, I should be more clear. If you can do 2 or more, keep your hands up. Okay? If you can do, so you can do 1, correct? If you can do, so your 1 is going to make sure that if it's sleep, you're going to make sure that it's in REM cycle chunks only. See that? If it's school, you're going to make sure you do your homework before a certain time in your day. You're going to slot that time in. You're going to stick to that slotted time. Okay? If it's relationships, you're going to figure out which relationship it is you got to work on. We're going to talk about that privately later. 2 plus, 3 plus, 3 plus, 4 plus. Good. We're going to stick with 3. 3 rules. If you had capacity to do more, it's okay. You know what that means? All that means is these 3 specific things you're going to be able to take for a very long time positively. It's going to take less drainage on you. Does that make sense? That's good. Identify 3 things you're doing wrong in that particular area. Out of your own nafs, ask yourself, you know why we can do all this? Allah in the Quran says, وَكَفَى بِكَ حَسِيبًا. On the Day of Judgment, Allah is like, I'm not going to bring an accountant. You're my accountant. Do you understand that? وَكَفَى بِكَ حَسِيبًا. The only trait He's going to take away from you there is that you can't lie. You can't lie because all apparent. You can't hide because there's nothing to hide. Because there's nowhere to hide. You see that? كَفَى بِكَ حَسِيبًا. Identify 3 things you're doing wrong. You know how to do that? Close your eyes, take a very deep breath. Close your eyes, take a very, very, very deep breath. You're on trial. You're the judge, and you're the person standing before the judge. Close your eyes, take a very deep breath. You're on trial for what you've done so far in that particular field you're working on. Okay? You're the judge, and you're the person before the judge. Look towards the judge and tell me and tell yourself what the first thing the judge said you're doing wrong. Write it down somewhere. You're accused of X, whatever the first accusation is. Put X, put that down. Accusation that the judge on your end is giving to you. You're not saying it's right or wrong yet. What's the first accusation in that world? If you were not able to find the first accusation, put your hands up. You will find no one in the world is able to say no. Why? Kafa bika hasiba. Ask the judge, what's the second accusation? You're going to put that thing down. Is anybody able to find that? Anybody having trouble with the second accusation? Anybody? Good. Continue and ask the judge about the third accusation. Put that down. There have to be 3 different ones. If you stopped asking the judge anything, put your hands up. If you didn't even ask the judge, if there's no judge to begin with, put your hands up. Okay? Salawat, please. Something went wrong here. What went wrong? Help me identify. Was this helpful at all to anybody? If it was helpful, put your hands up. If it was not helpful, put your hands up. Put your hands up. Something went wrong right here, I know. Put your hands up. I can see in your faces. I know when it went wrong. Was it difficulty in accepting the deficiency? Good. I'm just saying the accusation of the judge is not then specific. You know that? Whatever the judge is accusing, you're like, I already know I'm weak there, correct? Like for me, it's like the judge saying, you gotta be a better dad. I'm like, I know that. You see that? But I'm saying, okay, what am I accused of that's making me a bad dad? It's gonna say, you didn't take them to the park enough. Oh, there's the first accusation. You see that? So basically in your scenario, or whoever was there, you ask the judge for the theme, you have to ask him for the offense. You understand? To redo the exercise, asking for the offense. That was my fault not identifying it right away. See that? You helped me. If you did that, it would tell you, you're not being a good dad. Okay, that's the theme. I'm here for that. You're right. You're being brought in court, Sayyid Kalam, because you're not a good dad. 3 things. You don't take your kids to the park. First accusation. I understand exactly what I do. Okay? I have a list of justifications why I'm not doing it. Who cares? This is the thing I'm trying to work on, right? Okay. You don't do item X. You don't help them go to sleep with a story. There you go. Second. You see that? Right away, I think you don't hug Hassan enough. He needs lots of hugs. Hassan's my 3-year-old thug. Okay? Right away, you gave me 3. I just did the exercise in front of you. Up until this point, these 3 were the ones I'm currently failing in as a priority. Do you see that? And I've been justifying it to myself. I say, Astaghfirullah. And in my timetable, I'm going to put these 3 things as pillars for the week. I will make sure I do these in a week and I'll put it down. I'll hug Hassan every day this time. I'll take him to the park at this time. And nighttime story time is on me. You see that? What happened? So do that for your deficiencies now, please. It's very hard to do it through an algorithm because what I have to do is go through the general case for everything. It's not easy, I'm telling you. That's why I made mistakes here. Thank you for helping me. Okay? Go ahead.
What if two deficiencies are extremely similar?
Very good. You're going to suggest why is the second one being brought when the first was brought as well? It's going to tell you. Something is making them two. Similar means not the same, correct? Similar means not the same, correct? So you're going to ask, what's the differences? That's the two accusations you got to work on. Okay. Does anybody not know what they have to do this week? Put your hands up. Out of this exercise, the 3 accusations should have been made, and you know the exact 3 items you have to ensure that you put in this particular week. Is there anybody who does not know that? Put your hands up. Okay, everybody put your hands up for a second, please. Only put your hand down if you were able to identify 3 things from this seminar alone that you have to add into your schedule this week. Good. If you did 2 things, put your hand down now. Good. Allah says, if you act on what you know, I will teach you more. If you act on these 3, if you found 3, He will teach you more and tell you how to go further. You understand? If you only found 2, say Alhamdulillah. You act on those 2 things and He'll teach you more. Finding 2, is it better or worse? It's worse because you're claiming I only have 2 areas to grow in this primary deficiency. That means you're saying, my eyes are not clean enough yet, not that I'm perfect. See the difference? That's very important. Okay? Question, what if it's only 2 things that are doing wrong? It's not the case. Quality is also a measure, correct? So only 2 quantifiable slots are missing. That means you were not worried about something called the qualified or quality measure of things at all. That's infinite. Does that make sense? You're going to add these things to your schedule and you're going to work on them for this week. Right now, put a specific slot in that week for these activities. When you're done, we're done. When you're done, we're done. I'm going to tell you some things about the intellectual needs and the spiritual needs, and then something about termites, and all of that is going to take only about 10 minutes and we will finish. Please put your hands up or stand up when you're done putting the explicit need on this week's calendar for yourself, this week's schedule for yourself. Please consider the wrinkle of emotion in times. If I want to hang out with my kids, I can't hang out when I'm exhausted. Won't work. If I want to help my dad, I can't help him when I'm exhausted. Won't work. Never assess based on I will do that. Always say, can I do that? I can do that or I can't. Never say I will or I will not. That's something I don't know. The criteria changes. So I can work out at this time. Or no, I cannot. Go ahead.
Question.
Go ahead.
What if that time sometimes gets eaten by like external forces?
That you're picking a time that is your time to finish this primary deficiency. To be a better you have to take that particular time for yourself. You are not a better you if you're not doing that particular task. You see that? So you're telling yourself, if I don't take time out with my kids to the park, I'm not a good enough teacher, I'm not a good enough counselor, I'm not a good enough scholar, because each time I'm there, I'm going to be thinking about my kids in the park that I'm not taking. You see? So when I'm saying I got to take my kids out of the park at, let's say, 4 p.m., okay, this slot is actually helping all the other hats I wear.
Yeah, but like what I mean is in a very specific case.
Yes.
So, as people, we live at home, we live with our parents.
Yes.
So what if it's like, I'm gonna do this tonight at 8 o'clock. That's the best time for me.
And then tonight comes, 8 o'clock comes, I'm ready, and the mom's like, can you help me with this?
Great. You say, I definitely can help you with this. You help mom, and right away go do whatever you're supposed to do. At the next available option. So that's how salah works. Allah says, if you forever, for whatever reason, we're not able to pray at prime time, as he said, then delay it till the end, or is it as soon as you can pray? What does the deen say? Ahsant. But you have prime times for things, right? You've all set prime times in your schedule. That's your prime prayer time. That need of yours, you're doing it for Allah, it's your prime need time. Okay? Okay? If something comes up at the prime time, mom says, come help me. What do? You assess, can I say yes or can I say delay? If you can't, go help. Right after, what are you going to do? You're going to do the need. Does that make sense? That need comes first. It only gets trumped when there's really no way for me to say no. Mom says, I need you to move these boxes from the basement to the top floor. Okay. Mom can't do it after I come back from the park with the kids. No guests are coming. Great, mom. Boxes up. Okay, guys, let's go to the park. Today we had a 10-minute delay, but my need got met. And my mom was happy. Yes? Need is not delayed. Okay, thank you for asking that question. Does that answer your question? I should ask you that question.
It does, but then there's also the further.
Thank you for helping explain it.
complication.
Sorry?
There's the further complication.
Yeah.
Which is when the need is like when my mom needs something.
Yes.
That, for example, takes a lot of time.
Yes.
So, for example, tonight is mosque. I didn't plan for that. Now I have a lot of time, and when I come home, I will then be trampling on my sleep needs to get to, for example, my school needs. Or, so like that.
Sure. So all of a sudden you recognize that today my need got qada.
Yes.
You see that? Then tomorrow you're going to say, how do I make sure my need does not get qada tomorrow? So it's like, today my fajr got qada. Oh, why did it get qada? Because I didn't put an alarm clock on. So I'm going to plan in an alarm clock so I wake up for fajr. You see that? So today my need got qada because a request was asked from mom, right? It seems like it's a regular request. Maybe I should go back to the drawing board and my need shouldn't fit in this hour on this day. You understand? Do you see that? If it's a regular disturbance, that means you're standing in the middle of a current you shouldn't be standing in. Does that make sense? Otherwise, it's an ad hoc disturbance. See that? Ad hoc disturbances are of two types. They consume the entire day. It's like that random wedding that pops up. Okay? Or they don't consume the whole day. Okay? When they're consuming the whole day, you recognize this to be an ad hoc event. Do you think that I'm going to feel really crumply if in the last year I didn't take my kids to the park only 3 times? Nope. So all of a sudden you understand that the need thing, if this one day didn't match, as long as it is actually an ad hoc item, you see that? That need is still getting met in the long run. If one day I didn't eat breakfast, I'm not throwing up my routine. You understand? But if that becomes a consistency, I have a problem.
So then it's about planning around it.
Exactly. Planning around. So that's why I said you're making sure I identified 2 pillars, not the exhaustive pillar, not the other exhaustive pillar. Then I said you already did this emotional walkthrough of the day. Make sure it's in a place of time that you are not exhausted or emotionally wrinkled. You gotta figure out when that time is. That's the need point. Okay? So if I want to take my kids, I can't take them right away when I go home because I'm typically cooked. I need about a good 30 minutes to wake up. You see that? Good. If I tell them I'm going to take you guys when I get home, but in my mind I'm going to take them when I get home, and after 30 minutes of recuperating, I'm going to make them wait for 30 minutes and I'm messing that up. I have to be very truthful. That when I come home, 30 minutes after I'll take her to the park. Now they're not sitting there for 30 minutes saying, oh, what's he doing? See that? Good. Otherwise, I've messed up myself. My whole need was to make sure I'm a good Baba, right? By making my kids pressure cookers, I'm not a good Baba, correct? Your pressure cooker for 30 minutes. What is he doing? He said park. Where's park? You see that? Being truthful of when we've set a particular time to ourselves and others is extremely important. Okay. Did that answer your question? Yes, it did. Okay. Any other questions so far? Before we move on, go ahead.
What if you weren't able to find a third thing?
That's okay. I said, you say shukran lillah, I found two. And I'm going to act on those two. Allah, you promised me you're going to show me a third if I act on two. Correct? That's it. If you could think of it right now, would you have found it already?
What do you mean?
If you had the capacity to think of it already, would the judge have given it to you? I guarantee you would have.
I mean, maybe it's in a different category.
So we're talking about the primary need right now, right? That's it. Every primary category, I want to be a good Baba. Do you think it only has 3 needs there?
Wait, so we're doing this for every primary category?
No. Today we're just doing it for one primary category, 3 things. You take a bigger step than that, you're taking a bite you can't chew. You understand? So I got you to make the bite out of your own hands, because each person's hands is different. And you're going to put it and chew it in your own mouth. Your hands were designed by the same manufacturing company that your mouth was. And hence they are in sync. Okay? Alright. I'm going to talk about these two as well. Our primary occupation is where our intellect is going to basically grow. You see that? It's somewhere where you're, in the beginning phases, you're training yourself in school. After that, you're training yourself in a particular workplace. But at all times, you're using your intellect in a particular place, correct? What happens to a person that's not able to utilize their intellectual faculty properly? They feel unsuccessful. You see that? Whenever a person is not able to utilize their intellectual faculty, they feel unsuccessful. And that's why if a person has a higher intellectual faculty, right, they have to be truthful to the level of bites that they need. If ever your expectations are externally motivated, not internally, you're going to be in trouble. So if ever you're saying that I want that 98 because of mom, because of dad, you're in trouble. You understand? There's always a marks that you are comfortable with, but others are not. And there's a mark that you're achieving for others that you were comfortable with 10 marks below that. You understand? Always set expectations from the I, not the externals. Use your intellect to refine that I though. Does that make sense? I want to be a doctor and I want to get 90 then. Okay, great. But it has to be I motivated, not mom, dad motivated. Mom, dad want me to be a doctor, so I need to get 90. Well, that's not going to work. No motivation, they're going to get frustrated. Does that make sense? Okay. I want to lose weight, so I got to work out. You see that? It can't be that because that guy and that guy and that guy think I should lose weight, I got to work out, because I'm never going to go work out. Good, go ahead.
Wait, but that's easier said than done. So how do you apply
It's not. It's the most easiest thing in the world. Otherwise, Allah would not ask it about a 9-year-old girl. He would not. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. Otherwise, God would not say, train your children on this. I train my kids on this. What's the hard part about it? Tell me. Challenge. Play ball.
Motivation?
That's exactly what I said. What's the motivation?
Yourself.
Yes.
No, but
I
get that, but like.
What do you not get?
No, I get the motivation part.
Okay.
You find motivation in yourself, but how do you find motivation in yourself?
Question. Am I satisfied with who I am right now, where I am forever? Staying like this, cold stone forever till the end. If you say yes, you're saying, I am absolutely perfect. There's no deficiencies to overcome. I have no problems. I have no baggages. I'm a great dad. I'm a great therapist. I'm a great, scholar. I'm a great. At any point you're like, I'm not really that great here. That's when you're being genuine. Because each human fitra has been granted this unique thing where they're able to look at a deficiency and say, I see it. You understand? We're very sharp with that. Does that make sense? I'll tell you a story. You're tired, I can see in your eyes. I came home last night and I was panicky and rushy. And I hadn't seen my kids because they were in a different city. And they were eating dinner on the table, okay? And I had something in my hand that I had to quickly go charge my phone downstairs. I was in the middle of the meeting and the phone died. Okay? So I came inside, rushed downstairs to plug it in. As I was rushing, I saw my son's face and it said everything. Went down, plugged it in, I came rushing back up and I hugged him and I said, if I knew you were at home and I'd seen that you'd gotten home, I would have come home a lot faster. I was in the driveway talking, but their car wasn't there. I didn't know they had come home. You see that? He picked up, why were you in the driveway while I was at home? Why didn't you want to come and give me a hug? You see that? All that communication happened with the eyes. Kids are very perceptive. Then I told him, the next thing that hurt you was the fact that I did see you and I still went downstairs. And that hurt a lot more. Correct, Muhammad? He said, yeah. I was in the middle of a meeting. I had to plug my phone in. That was my problem. But I should have come and given you a hug first. I admitted it. I erased the panic and pressure. If I had not justified it, what have I told him? You're less valuable than that meeting. You see that? When you make a mistake, you better claim it, or you're giving the wrong message. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Really good. Now when I hugged him, is all the negativity gone from him? I guarantee you. Do I feel like I'm a better dad? Oh yes. And did I accept that it's a mistake that I have to make sure I don't do again? Oh yeah. Do you understand? I gave this example because I want you to understand that I'm not perfect and you're not perfect. The divine system is not for perfect peoples, it's for deficient peoples like me and you. But the system is perfect. Does that make sense? Go ahead. Yes, you can. Any other questions? There's a washroom right there. All right, this brings us to the end. And now I will take any questions that you ask. You can ask me any question you want. Am I going to answer it? No. Why? Because I might not know the answer. Okay? But you're welcome to ask any question. Ask whatever you need to ask. If you have no questions, we're done. Help them pack up the chairs. Okay. Put your hands up if you have a question, but you're too shy to ask. Everybody put your hand up. Put your hand up, put your hand up. Put your hand up, put your hand up, put your hand up. If it was just me standing here and you and everybody else was gone, if you would ask a question, leave your hand up, everybody else put it down. Good. Now I know there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at least genuine questions here, 6, 7 questions here. Great. I'm going to be staying over here, okay? The session ends now. Whoever has a question can form a line. I'll talk to you individually, right? And then you can go. Iltimas dua. Khudafiz. Salawat, please, guys. Again, my presentation was with my deficiencies. Please forgive them. Iltimas dua. So if you don't mind, I'm going to take a seat somewhere, and whoever has questions can come ask me, okay? I'm probably going to sit somewhere in the corner that doesn't disturb other people. Alaikum salam. How are you doing? What's the question? What's the question?
So like how can I fix my weaknesses once I find them? For example, like how can I balance time for doing my homework? Like after school I just finish it.
Which homework, which subject do you have the hardest in to kind of get done?
Sometimes science. It depends.
Which one comes to mind first?
Social studies.
Okay. So you're gonna make sure that whenever you come home, the first homework you're gonna attempt at is what? So before you leave the class, you're gonna ask the teacher, can you just clarify what you want me to do in this homework? Okay? You're gonna ask that. Okay?
Do you have a phone on you? Do you have phones? No. So you're gonna say, "Can you please say that?" And as she's saying, you're gonna write down what she's saying. And you're gonna tell her, "Slow down. I gotta figure out what I gotta do." Okay? Once you know what you're doing, the first homework you're gonna tackle is what? Social studies. Okay? That's really important. When you do that, so things are gonna get easier, right? Good. Does that help you?
Yeah, so then, like, do you know how I can balance the time?
Yeah.
Like, for example, if it would take too long, like, you know how I can work quicker?
Yeah. Put a clock and see how much can I get done here, and make it a game. Say, last time it took me 30 minutes to get here to finish it. This time, in 30 minutes, I want to try to see if I can finish it all. When you put a race, you make it a race, you run faster, right? So say, this thing's gonna take me an hour. Put a clock, and now you're racing against that. Does that make sense? All of a sudden, you got faster. You see that? Okay, you pick an appropriate time that should take you, and you race through it for that. You see that? And you can ask your teacher to pick that for you. Say, how much time should this take for me? Because I want to race against that. You see that? Your teacher can pick the time and you race at home. Isn't that a lot more fun? Good. All right, class.
So I plan out the middle of the day?
Yeah.
To see how cool.
Yes.
Thank you.
Classes. This one.
How are you? So I had this question. There's this book I've been reading. I think it's Maulana Rizvi, and like it was basically written by Shahid Mutahari. Then Maulana Rizvi like came and made a different version of it. It was about religious pluralism, right? And I want to understand it on like at a level where it's at my capacity of understanding.
Okay. So read that book at your capacity.
Like understand it how I understand it.
No. Ask questions about that to somebody who knows. Okay?
Related to the book.
Yeah.
So ask stuff that would make me understand.
Exactly.
Like write down the question.
Exactly. I didn't get this. What is this? Yeah?
Highlight it maybe.
Yes. Okay. Do you permit? I'm going to have to see some sisters have questions.
Yeah, okay,
too.
sorry.
Okay, Master. I'm just going to sit in the middle so sisters can come as well. The sisters have a question? No? They're all gone? Hold on. I'm at your service, inshallah. Go ahead.
Okay. So, among the three things we're talking about, right? We have three in the first category. Why can't they be from a different category? Like, say, why can't I just think of
They
three
could
things
be from
total?
anything, but you're working on one category to hone out first.
Yeah. Why one category and instead
Because
of that one?
it's easier to juggle and consistently do one thing. It's easier for every human in the world.
Also,
Take your tongue out.
Okay.
Okay. And put your tongue up and down and your hands go rub your belly. Not working. Not in sync. It's harder.
Yeah.
See that?
Okay.
Always easier to do one thing at a time. Always easier for every human in the world.
Why is that one category and
Because that's the one that gave you the most riled up thing, the riling up feeling, the negative feeling. I told you to pick.
Okay. I thought it was the one that you think you could work on the most.
No. I said the one that is riling you up the most. The thoughts that keep coming, the negativity that comes from, the frustration that's coming, the feeling of exhaustion, for example, that keeps coming.
Okay.
Okay? It's a primary need, basically.
But what is the reason why I can't think of a third thing? For example, the thing that was
Because you're not able to identify exactly what you're weak in. That's why.
Why is that?
Because you're not admitting to the deficiency consistently. That's what it does. It dulls your eyes. When you consistently tell yourself, I'm good, you don't see where you're bad. That's why. That's for every human in the world. Me too. Wherever I can't spot my deficiencies, because I've been telling myself there, I'm good. I gotta go and ask questions. I'm at your service, inshallah.
Is there a dua to get up like at Fajr in the morning?
Sleep.
Yeah.
The dua of sleep.
Yeah. I mean,
the dua of sleep.
No, actually,
An actual dua?
Yeah.
Sleep. No dua in the world is gonna help you. No dua in the world if you don't sleep.
No. Like I sleep early, too. Like I still have problems, getting up early.
That means you're not sleeping early enough.
I sleep at 9. 9
Okay.
usually 9.
Maybe your body needs more sleep.
Yeah.
Just because you sleep at 9 doesn't mean it's enough for your body. How do you know it's enough for your body? Because you're able to wake up from it.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
Maybe you need to sleep a little earlier. Why? Who knows? Get your blood work checked out. Right? If you're trying to fix it with dua, that's like mumbo jumbo magic. It's not gonna work. You gotta fix it. You gotta fix the sleep. That is the dua. Then add the dua. There is no dua without dava. That's not what a religion preaches. Okay? Sleep a little bit earlier, see what happens. Put the REM cycles in. Maybe you just gotta wake a little bit earlier, a little bit later. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay, alhamdulillah.
In between generation and then
In
between.
Is that okay?
Yeah. We were just talking about some feedback as well, just in general. So I'll kind of put it all together and then either send it to you, or if you prefer, we can just talk through some of it as well.
You have time now? Or?
I have a little bit of time now.
Okay.
Sorry, I have to say something. You had helped him, no? Salam alaikum. Salam, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, how are you?
Good.
Salam.
Oh, he's gotten so big.
Late, how are you doing?
Alaikum, I'm Zainab. How are you? Sorry? Zanjubi.
So, his wife.
Yeah.
All the
That makes
coordinating.
sense. That's why when I saw him, I'm like, oh, because he used to work with Hussein last winter. I was a bit. I was trying to tell him about stories about that. Okay. Yeah, it's not for everyone, that's for sure.
Alhamdulillah. We knew you were here, but we didn't know you were in this location, so we just finished the wedding and we're like, oh, we'll wait a few
Good.
minutes. You want some fun, you think?
You guys are doing well? Everything good?
Alhamdulillah.
This guy doing well? You guys are at a wedding right now?
Oh, how old is he now?
19
months. Yeah, then
I'm gonna go pack up my stuff, okay? With your permission?
Okay, please.
If you feel rushed, you can send me a message, or we can talk around you.
We could talk for a few minutes. I just wanted to say something.
Yeah, me too. You're a good friend.
Yeah. Assalamualaikum. How are you?
You okay?
These guys, they worked for my husband last winter.
Okay.
Yeah, so I met all of them.
Okay.
And then he started calling me.
Okay.
That was around the time his wife had just
Yes.
left and all of that stuff was happening, etc. So then I was talking to him and his dad.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, so there's Sayyid Kamal, I think you should contact
Yes.
him. I really encourage you to contact him, etc. And then he called me one day and said, I was in touch with Sayyid Kamal. And I was like, and? He's like, he's helping so much. I'm like, alhamdulillah. Good. You need anything else from me? Let me know.
I'll continue like till date.
Yeah, good.
But when you fix a system, it's like when you enter a business as a consultant, there's no end of consultancy because you go to every department to see what's going on. So
Yeah. And then there's like development at every stage as well. Right?
Exactly.
So it's not like, oh, okay, I got
Yeah.
the bricks
Yeah.
and like the mortar's good and all of that.
Exactly.
And I'm like, you can fly high. No.
Exactly like that.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, so I'll just share a little bit. Okay, so some of the I already forgot her name, the sister I was just talking to. I'm horrible at names. Okay, so some of the feedback she got, she said there was like a little bit of a consensus that they were lost for the first 15 minutes.
Right now or the first?
First 15.
Okay.
Yeah. So her feedback was in general for the whole thing. I think this is similar to what her and I said. She said start with an agenda because they couldn't see the path, and so we lost
exactly
them.
the thing.
We talked about that. Their development. So I think for me, when I'm presenting, it's about buy-in. So I know what your need is.
Yeah.
I'm here to meet that need, answer that
I got
question.
you.
Here's how I'm going to get you there.
Yes.
They just need to see that, so then they'll follow my journey with me.
Perfect.
Otherwise, they're like, you're not doing what you told me you were going to do, or not even you're not doing what you told me you were going to do. You're not doing what I expected you to do. So I'm checked out. I'm sitting here because my mom is over there.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here because I don't have a ride home. Or so and so will tell their mom, and their mom will tell my mom, and I'll get in trouble.
Yeah.
So that was some of her general feedback. And I think that just, again, speaks to their level of development in terms of high school students.
Yes.
right? Versus speaking, same topic, delivery to an adult group. Adult education is very different than
Yes.
the grade 9 to 12-ish. She thinks mostly everyone was grade 9 to 11. She's not 100% sure if there was anybody in grade 12.
Some of them were.
Yeah?
Just the guys in the front. I've been to their classes.
Okay. They looked older to
Yeah,
me, so
yeah.
I made the assumption just based
Yeah,
on
yeah,
how everyone
yeah.
looked that we have 9 to 12 here. So it's good. And then I have some more like specific feedback.
Yeah.
It was tied to activities that you did.
Good.
But I would like to review my notes
Good.
because when I'm typing, they don't always make sense.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you're okay, give me a day or so.
I will.
I'll
Okay.
put that together. I'll send it over, and then if that doesn't make sense because of the way I type
Yeah.
or I write,
I'll
then
call.
just let me know. We can talk through it.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you generally? Because this is. I always feel that the presentation is the representation of my natural current state.
Yeah.
I never pretend.
Yeah.
Whatever deficiency I have, that's what's displayed, right?
I think like a couple of things, and can I just be like frank? And
Yeah, I need to
okay,
do.
a couple of things. Second round after lunch, right? Much better. You were walking around, you were up there. It felt like you were comfortable, and that was being portrayed more.
Okay.
You started, you were further back. The chair's there. Even the screen was in front of you.
Yeah.
Right? It was beside, but still in front. So like from an optics perspective, but also for them, I think for this community, they see your mama, right, the turban, and you're here. Now you're a Mulan. I'm not going to engage with you because this is lecture.
Okay. I was more comfortable the first half than the second. You know why?
Oh, interesting.
The first half was according to plan.
Oh, I think they want us out.
First half was according to plan. Second half was after feedback.
Right.
I was a lot. That's how I was pacing actually.
I have one question.
So, can I take the
Go
question?
ahead. I'm going to email
I will
all of
take
that
that.
stuff, and I think we're talking tonight, right?
Yes.
Do you know what time?
No, I have to see it. Really sorry.
You'll let Aaliyah know?
Yes, I will.
She'll tell us all.
Thank you so much.
So say like you have like lots of work to do, right? And then like you find out that like some what is it? Something like pops up, and then like you don't have time to do anything until like the next day.
Yes.
So what would you like advise then? Like what I like should I like stay up a bit, or should I like go to sleep and then like how should I do all of that?
Go to sleep, work in the morning. Always sleep is primary. Always. You don't sleep, you're not going to go do anything else. Okay? Office. Assalamu alaikum. Hello? Hello? Hello, assalamu alaikum.